So I actually have someone that I want you to meet in this video. However, stick with me here. My husband and I got married and had our kids pretty young, right? Like not super young, not crazy young, but like, you know, got married at, well, had our first son, I believe we were like barely 21. Yeah, no, I don't even think I was 21 yet. My son was born in March and I turned 21 in April and then got married the next year. So we were fairly young. Basically what I'm saying is we were the first one in our friends group to do the whole marriage and kids thing. So when our friends got older and got married and started having kids, they would come to us, they'd be like, hey, what's your biggest piece of like marriage advice? What's your biggest piece of parenting advice, like with kids? And my husband and I have always mutually agreed on what works for us as far as babies and parenting. And we have a very strict rule in this house that has always worked for us. If it doesn't work for you, don't judge. But I'm just saying, in this house and for my husband and I, what always worked with our boys was you never, under any circumstances, wake a sleeping baby. If the baby is sleeping, you do not wake them. You do not be quiet around the house. You vacuum, you slam pots and pans because they will learn to sleep through it, but you never go over and purposely wake them. And in this particular situation, the baby of our household is currently sleeping. So I'm still going to be talking, but I can't introduce him right now because the baby is sleeping. So that's a big hint, but hopefully later on in the video he wakes up because we have an introduction that also explains why I've been a little MIA on YouTube, besides for all the other things that are going on in this house. So hopefully he wakes up, but for right now, you never wake a sleeping baby, you know? Hey guys, welcome back to another one. And for this one, we are going to be doing the first haul of 2026 and the first haul post the flood of 2025 here in this household. So what you're going to be seeing today are some of the books that I've replaced some of the ones that I lost in the flood with. I'm not going to show you the repeats, like the ones that I actually replaced, but some of them are new that I'm replacing my books that I lost with. And sadly, I did lose a couple of first edition special editions that I'm not going to be able to replace at market value, and I'm just not going to do that. So that was sad. But before I start, I just want to say, for everybody that went onto my Amazon wish list and was so kind as to send me books from my wish list and say, these are to replace some of the books that you lost, and to kind of like apologize to me for the flood that happened in our home that lost some of my items. I really can't tell you. It has been, I'm not going to get emotional, but it has been a really difficult couple of months since the flood happened on October 3rd. And we are still in the process of demo and rebuild and working our way through that process. We are going to be back and better than ever, but I'm not going to look you in the face and lie to you and tell you that it hasn't been incredibly stressful and incredibly sad and incredibly emotional, because our home is our sanctuary. And a little bit of inside baseball, we literally finished our in-law suite downstairs like a year and a half before the flood. It was only good for like a year and a half before it was completely destroyed, a category 3 water loss. For anyone who doesn't know, we had a sewer ejector pipe burst and completely destroy our in-law, which is where my office, our gym, our media room, my second kitchen, my bathroom, and my library is downstairs. And I did lose a good number of books. And you guys are so sweet. Anyone who took the time and who took the effort to send me a book from my list and just say, I hope this makes you smile after the flood. I want to let you know in person that it did make me smile. And when I was having really, really hard days, and when I was tired of fighting with the insurance company, or when I was just feeling overwhelmed with picking paint colors and cabinets and flooring after I feel like we had just finished this process and now I have to do it all over again. When I would come home and there would be an Amazon package lying on my front steps, and I would open it up and I would read your letters and just think like, you guys thought of me in your day. I really want to say thank you, because it was a bright spot in a dark day sometimes, and I want to thank you. And just like always, I save every single one of your letters in the books that it came with. I will read them today, but I also want to let you know that it will stay with the book for the rest of time, so that whenever I look at the book, I will always know that it was from you. So thank you so much. I love you guys so much. So let's not be sappy and let's get into the haul. Also, side note, I don't know if you could tell, but one of the other things that slowed me down here on YouTube was that I did get like back-to-back illnesses, and my voice is still not completely back. So I'm a little bit raspy, I'm a little bit hoarse. I'm gonna be taking a sip of my McDonald's Diet Coke here and there, but we're gonna make it work. Sip number 1, acquired. Also, I've said this before, I hate filming upstairs because the light goes in and out of the clouds. There's so much natural light up here that I rely on. The lighting is what it is. I can't do anything about it, but we're trying. So just like the format of all our other hauls, we're going to start with the physical books I've purchased and acquired first. Then we will talk about my special editions that have come in over the last couple of months. Then we will talk about just like some highlights of Kindle books that I've gotten for really good specials. And I will once again encourage you to watch your Kindle specials. So let's go ahead and start with the physical books. So the first book I picked up physically was The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. I am so excited about this book. I actually saw this book before it started making the rounds on booktubes because I know like Sarah Caroli has read it recently. I forget who else. I think Brielle has read it recently and they've both loved it. But I actually saw this at a Barnes before it even made the rounds on YouTube. And there was something about this cover that I just think is so beautiful. And then when I opened it up and I saw that the book was told through like letters and emails, I was like, I think this might be for me. I don't know much about this book, but I do know that our female protagonist is an elderly woman. I think she's in her 70s. Is her name Sybil? Why do I remember Sybil? I could be making that up. But I'm also very intrigued by that because I feel like we don't get too many works of lit fic and things like that with the older protagonist. And I think it's just her telling the story of her life through letters and emails. And I hope that this hits me right in the field, so I had to pick it up. On the inside cover, it says, "Imagine the letters one has sent out into the world. The letters received back in turn are like the pieces of a magnificent puzzle. Isn't there something wonderful in that? To think that a story of one's life is preserved in some way, that this very letter may one day mean something, even if it is a very small thing to someone." I love that. Admittedly, I don't send very many letters, and like the regular postal mail kind of frustrates me because, you know, it's slow and I am very efficiency oriented, but this might make me want to start sending more letters, you know? Next up, I picked up Something Wicked by Fallon Ballard. I needed to grab it because of this gorgeous first edition sprayed edge version. I'm just like so intrigued by this book. There's nothing on the end papers or the covers, but I do love the sprayed edges. I think this edition is really beautiful. The quick little AI description is, in a world inspired by Macbeth and Moulin Rouge, a courtesan with magical powers helps a prince kill his father to become a presidential candidate. It does contain mature adult themes. I haven't read anything else by Fallon Ballard, but I'm pretty sure this is the most spicy thing she's written, and I think it's her toe, dipping her toe into fantasy. I think she's mostly done romance before, so I'm very excited to read this, and the edition kind of sold me. The next book I picked up is Willing Prey by Ali Oleander. Something about this cover just sold me. I just think it grabbed my eye, that really pretty pink color. And it says it's an exhilarating primal summer fling, reveals an intensely sexy romance. Why is it that every single time I start talking, the plows start going up and down the road? Are we even supposed to be getting snow? I don't know. We've gotten so much snow lately, so apparently we're supposed to be getting snow because the plow is going up the roads. Anyways, an exhilarating primal summer fling reveals an intensely sexy romance where anything goes. Just remember your safe word. And then the AI description says, a divorced teacher enters a summer arrangement to be hunted in the woods by a feral corporate lawyer for $30,000, leading to intense primal encounters. So this is technically classified as adult erotica. So sounds interesting, I guess. I don't think I realized that, but I'm into it. I also grabbed The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. I have seen a ton of booktubers loving this book. It is a gorgeously floppy paperback, but man, is this a chunky book. I'm a little intimidated by it, but I don't really know much about it either. It says, in the Empire of Arun, High Scholar Nima Kra must solve a murder and compete for the throne among 7 exceptional candidates, guided by the mysterious Raven. That doesn't really tell me much. A labyrinth of a book, vast and intricate, full of fiendish twists and clever traps, with a deeply human heart at its center. It's thrilling, romantic, often tragic, and always funny. I'm obsessed. Alex E. Harrow blurbed that on the back of this book. That kind of has me even more interested because I like Alex E. Harrow's writing, but this writing is also kind of tiny, but all right, The Raven Scholar. The next book I picked up I actually already own. I think I own the indie published version of this and I have it on my Kindle, but a special edition came out and I got sucked in. It's A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime by Monica Murphy. First of all, I love when they don't do a dust jacket. They just do a naked hardcover. And this edition is so pretty. And there is no dust jacket on it, which I love because when I read a hardcover, I throw the dust jacket anyways. So I just wanted to grab it because I think it's beautiful. So this actually is book 2 technically, because I think there's a prequel. It's called, I'm almost positive. Yeah, Things I Wanted to Say, Lancaster Book Prep Book 1. But I don't think they did a special edition of that unless I didn't see it. So I don't really know if you have to read that before this one, but I saw this special edition and it's beautiful. It says, it's been 3 years, 4 months, 2 days, and a handful of hours since the first moment I set eyes on her. Is this a bully romance? I'm realizing I buy books and I know nothing about them, but the edition is gorgeous. Next up, I had to grab Sarah Adams' new release, and that's In Your Dreams. I have liked Sarah Adams' writing. She's not like my favorite, but she's one of those authors where I've bought the paperbacks of all of her other books, and now my brain tells me I need to continue the trend because I can't have one missing, and that was this purchase right here. It says, a homecoming to Rome, Kentucky sparks a new romance and lots of drama between 2 old family friends. A chef returns to her hometown to run a farm-to-table restaurant sparking romance with her brother's best friend while navigating professional challenges and family dramas. Okay, so small town Rome, Kentucky, brother's best friend. I'm into it. The next book is a book I haven't seen literally anybody talking about. It just was sitting on the shelves when I was in Barnes one day and I was like, what is this? And then it intrigued me so much I had to get it and I was like, I have seen no one talk about that. And this is Hollow by Selena Myers. Look at this edition. I think it's just so pretty. Is there end paper art? Just kind of colors. This is a new release, and like I said, I've not seen anybody talking about this, but it says, from online sensation Selena Myers comes a fresh, intriguing novel about a woman who finds her destiny and her family after being turned into a vampire. After dying in a car crash, Mia Adair awakens as a vampire and must choose between 2 rival clans while rediscovering her ability to communicate with the dead. How is no one talking about this? And honestly, it's relatively short. How many pages is this without seeing spoilers at the end? Like 285-ish, somewhere around there. So this is something that I could definitely finish in a day. Now, this is once again another book that I own a few editions of and actually was gifted to me as well, but I wanted to grab the trad published version because I think it's so pretty, and that is The Poisoner by Ivy Ophelia. Look at this paperback with the sprayed edges. I just think it's such a pretty edition. I love the red into the blue. I just think it's beautiful. I do think the indie cover is beautiful as well. I'll post it right here. This one was gifted to me actually, and I do think this is beautiful as well. And this one is like, to me, it's much spookier. This almost feels almost like a horror cover, but this new traditionally published one, I just love the colors of it with the sprayed edges. I had to have it. I can't explain it. It says, have you ever wondered how long it would take for a lethal dose of arsenic to kill you? 35 hours, 29 minutes, and 15 seconds. I should know. I counted myself. Amid the gaslit alleys and cobblestone streets of Victorian London, 2 killers find themselves entangled in a waltz they cannot escape. Aline Elise, a botanist and hobbyist poisoner, has a pastime of killing unsavory men using her twisted sense of poetic justice. When she targets the conceited playboy Silas Forbes, only to find him in her apothecary the following week, she discovers human men are the least of her problems. The pair's unlikely association sparks gossip in affluent society. As their mysterious bond deepens, chilling secrets emerge from the shadows, along with the concealed identities and lurking foes, while questions as plentiful as the Hydra's head brew within this haunting gothic tale of violent passion. Will Silas and Alina find themselves in each other's arms, or will the secrets of their past keep them apart? How good does that sound? The next book I got is actually a gift from the lovely Amanda, and that is Druid Cursed by C.J. Burright, and it is the beautiful first edition with the sprayed edges as well. I was so excited when I saw this pop up because I've been very intrigued by this book, and I'm going to read you Amanda's little note to me. It says, I know you were sick and on the mend, but I wanted to send you a little something to help you feel better even more. I loved this book, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it from Amanda. How sweet is that? That is so cute. And you do really make my day, Amanda. You are so, so, so kind and so sweet. It says, 1 week of freedom, 1 cursed druid, 1 woman who will break the spell or doom them both. A cursed druid has 7 days to break his magical prison using Maggie's blood, but she refuses to be sacrificed and searches for other ways to help him. Is this technically sci-fi? Would this be considered sci-fi? It sounds like sci-fi, but so good. Thank you so much, Amanda. This made my day. So one of the perks of my other job, my other life that I lead, is that I do get access to a good number of ARCs. And one ARC that I actually grabbed was It's Not Her by Mary Kubica. Mary Kubica wrote a mystery thriller called Local Woman Missing. I didn't love it. It wasn't like my absolute favorite thing. It was a tiny bit slow, but it was very well written and it did intrigue me. And the way that most mystery thrillers in the genre in general kind of falls flat for me is when they have stupid, unrealistic endings that would never happen and it loses me at the end. Local Woman Missing didn't really do that. I didn't think it was totally buttoned up, but it wasn't so stupid where it frustrated me. So I'm intrigued about her writing, and this is her new release. I don't even know when it's coming out. February 3rd, 2026, and I was able to grab an ARC of it. This says, during a family vacation, Courtney discovers her brother and sister-in-law murdered and her niece missing. Dark secrets begin to surface in this chilling lakeside mystery. That would really put a damper on your vacation. Another purchase that was all about the special edition, 7 Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. Her worst enemy, his only chance. I love this edition. I just think it's so beautiful. And when I see stuff like this on the shelves, it's really not an option. It has to come home with me because I think they're so pretty. I am the darkness my magic destroys. In a kingdom where magic is punishable by death, Viola must work with her enemy, Assassin Rose, who has 7 days to kill her or die himself. This is YA, it's 400 pages, and it says the cruel prince meets powerless in this dark academia romantasy that will tattoo itself onto your heart. All sound like amazing things. Another ARC I was able to grab is Sibylline by Melissa de la Cruz. This is another YA book that sounds really, really good. It says 3 friends infiltrate a magical university, awaking forbidden magic and romance while uncovering a deadly force threatening to destroy Sibylline. So is Sibylline the school? Yes. Raven, Atticus, and Dorian have dreamed of attending Sibylline for as long as they can remember. But when the magical university rejects them, the friends' plans for a future studying the arcane together begins crashing down until they decide to steal an education. Getting jobs on campus, they sneak into lectures and swipe forbidden texts, dodging the administration's watchful eye. In the quiet of the night and the thrill of secrecy, their magic awakens, and so do long-buried attractions that turn their friendship into something more. But like magic, love can create and it can destroy. That sounds really good. So a book that is Kindle Unlimited that I will admittedly probably read on my Kindle, but also came out with a beautiful paperback edition that I had to have, Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. I have heard that this is spicy, 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 spicy goodness, and I've been so intrigued by it. And when I saw this come out in this gorgeous floppy paperback, I was like, you know what? I need to have it. Talk about beautiful but small writing. Oh my goodness. Maybe I will read it physically because this edition is kind of what I like to read in my paperbacks. Super floppy books, but I don't know what this is about, just that it's really spicy, which honestly is enough for me. It says, caught between 4 dangerous men, one woman indulges her hidden desires. Okay then. A defiant woman is sold to a ruthless gang to pay her father's debt, but she vows to make them regret claiming her against her will. So that sounds like everything I would like. And last but not least, I had to grab the special edition of Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. This edition is so cool. I think it's so pretty. I do have the paperback, I don't think it's technically indie, just like the paperback version, which, by the way, let's talk about that. I do not like this thing that authors and publishers have been doing lately, where they release just like a plain paperback version with regular white pages, plain cover that we were expecting. And then like a month later, they come out with these gorgeous hardcover special editions. So I actually had this happen to me with Alchemized as well, where Alchemized released. I had it pre-ordered, so I got just the regular pre-order edition with the white pages, and then a month later, Barnes & Noble comes out with a special edition. What the heck is up with that? And this book has been out forever. And I already have the paperback, but I had to get this because it's me and I have to have the special edition. What the heck is that? I don't like that they've been doing that lately. I feel like I'm being tricked into buying multiple editions. I'm not. It's a me thing, but I feel that way. On the back, there's like text messages and it says, why is there a mask on my bed? So you can picture me in it the next time you know. I'd rather have the real thing. Good, I'm already on my way over. Oh my goodness. I think this book is going to be really spicy. A dark romance like you've never seen before. Can you handle the ride? I think this is like a dark fantasy. I don't think it's technically stalker. It's like a dark fantasy fetish book, I think, is what I've heard. But I don't really want to know too much. I'm into it. I love this edition. Definitely going to get to this one. Another arc I was able to scoop up is The Astral Library by Kate Quinn. I've been very intrigued by Kate Quinn's books. I've never read anything by her, but I've seen her books before and just been very intrigued by them. This says a struggling library patron discovers a hidden door leading to the Astral Library, where people live inside books, and joins forces to protect it from a dangerous enemy. So this sounds, is this going to be like cozy? I don't know, but it says dangerous. I don't know. A gorgeously written fantastical adventure which poses the question, have you ever wished you could live inside a book? Obviously, yes. Welcome to the Astral Library, where books are not just objects but doors to new worlds, new lives, and new futures. Sounds good. I'm not going to talk too much about this one because everyone's kind of seen it. This is the newest novella by Lauren Roberts. It's called Fearful in the Powerless series. I really actually liked. So Powerless was the first book, and then the second book was Reckless. Right in between them, she came out with Powerful. And surprisingly, I actually liked Powerful, the little novella, better than the actual book. So I'm hoping this will happen again. I'm hoping that I'll like this next novella more than I'm liking the series because it's fine, but it's not a favorite of mine. So I'm not going to talk about this because I think it would give away some spoilers for the series, but Powerless is the first book. I also grabbed a signed edition of Lynn Painter's new release, Fake Skating. Once again, YA isn't always my favorite, but Lynn Painter has kind of hit for me. I'm intrigued by this one. It says, growing up, Danny couldn't help but follow around the dorky and adorable son of her mom's best friend. From playdates on the playground to sneaking into movie theaters, Danny and Alec were inseparable, until Danny moved away. Flash forward years later, and Danny is back in Minnesota after her parents' devastating divorce. Dealing with the fallout of her parents' breakup, Danny attempts to rekindle her friendship with the cozy and comforting Alec she has missed, and who has been strangely MIA since Danny moved away, but teenage Alec is nothing like the kid Danny remembers. He is the hockey star in a town where hockey players are worshipped like gods. Instead of little Danny following him around, Alec now has a line of fans drooling all over him, and he loves it. But when one thing leads to another, Danny and Alec find themselves thrown together to play the roles of boyfriend and girlfriend. Complicated becomes an understatement. Okay, so a little YA hockey fake dating romance. Yet another arc I was able to grab is So Old, So Young by Grant Ginder, author of The People We Hate at the Wedding. I've never read anything by this author, and I'm pretty sure this is a lit fic, but it says 6 friends, 5 parties, 20 years. How did we get so old, so young? A novel of impending millennial middle age that is part love story, part tragic comedy. 5 parties over the course of 20 years bring 6 college friends together, exploring the ways we run from and cling to our friends in love, life, and death. 6 college friends navigate love, careers, and changing relationships across 20 years, meeting at 5 parties that test their bonds and reveal how friendship evolves. I just saw this, and I've actually been on a little bit of a lit fic journey in the past year where I've really been appreciating these types of books, so I grabbed it. I wanted to try it. Next up, a book I'm really excited about. I grabbed Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. I haven't read anything by this author, but I've heard very good things. It says a warrior princess and a vengeful king from rival Fae courts form a fierce alliance to take down a merciless despot in this journey of powerful magic, enemies to lovers, romance, and political intrigue. A dark romantasy of unbreakable bonds, Fae politics, and a dangerous attraction amidst a battle for ultimate power. I feel like I also read This Was Marriage of Political Convenience, but I'm not sure about that. Another gift from the wonderful, beautiful, amazing Amanda. Amanda sent me My Funny Demon Valentine by Aurora Asher. This is book 1. I believe it's called the Hellbent series, and I am so excited to read this. Amanda sent a note that says, I also want to check this out, potential buddy read in February. Merry Christmas from Amanda. I am going to have to look at how many books we have talked about buddy reading together because I don't want to commit and then let you down, to be honest with you. So we have to actually get our buddy reading schedule kind of set up, but I would be willing, absolutely. And February would be kind of the cutest month to read a Demon Valentine book. It says, a demon prince escapes hell with his brothers to pursue jazz music, then meets a violinist who sees his true form. Their romance unfolds amid supernatural chaos and life-changing revelations. And there are 5 books in the Hellbent series. Wow, I didn't realize there were that many. This sounds so cute. Thank you, Amanda. I also picked up I, Medusa by Ayana Gray, another gorgeous edition with these beautiful sprayed edges. Something about this book is just so beautiful to me. Maiden, Mistress, Monster, Myth on the naked hardcover. A young woman named Medi Meddy, and is that short for Medusa, one would assume? Leaves her island home to become Athena's priestess, but after catching Poseidon's attention, she transforms into Medusa and embraces her power as a vigilante. Oh, so is this like a Medusa origin story? I'm into it. Is this YA or is this adult? This is adult. Interesting. It's a reimagining of one of the most iconic monsters in Greek mythology as a provocative and powerful young heroine. I'm super intrigued by this now. That sounds excellent, and it's not super, super long. Another book I picked up one day while I was browsing Barnes is The Seventh Champion by Sylvia Mercedes. I've never read anything by Sylvia Mercedes, but she has quite a few books that I've actually been very intrigued by, and I really loved this cover. She's the kingdom's only hope. He's the assassin sworn to kill her. A dragon princess joins forces with a scarred prince to escape a competition for her hand in marriage. Unaware he is hiding dark secrets of his own in the first of a new romantasy duology. Bring back a good romantasy duology. I love it. Like a duology, a trilogy is perfection. I love that. So very, very intrigued about this one. Another book I'm not going to talk too much about because it's the fourth book in a series. I did, of course, pick up Crown Tide by Alex Astor. This is book 4 in the Lightlark series, so I don't even want to look at the back because I haven't even finished book 2 yet. I'm so behind on this series, but I definitely did want to pick up this book. I think these editions and these covers are gorgeous, and I have all the other hardcovers, so I want them to match, so I will continue to buy them. I also picked up Fallen Gods by Rachel Van Dyken, another gorgeous first edition hardcover that I just felt like I need to have. Oh, there it is, hardcover. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. I'm such a sucker for end papers and a sprayed edge on a gorgeous fantasy hardcover. So beautiful. Never Wake a Sleeping Giant. A woman discovers her brother's disappearance may be linked to her new job in Norway, where she encounters a mysterious man and ancient secrets. They said the gods were myth, that the giants were only stories told around dying fires. They lied. The gods aren't dead, they're only sleeping, locked in mortal bodies scattered around the world, waiting for the right spark to wake them. And my father is the most ruthless of them all. He raised me to obey, to bleed, to be his blade when the time came. Now he's sending me to Endir University, a place filled with ancient bloodlines and deadly secrets, to steal back Jolnir, the hammer of legend. If I fail, everyone I love dies. But Eric Erickson wasn't part of the plan. He's the enemy's heir, distant, dangerous, and the one person I can't afford to fall for. He's closed himself off completely behind a wall of ice, but the more I'm ordered to unravel him, the harder it becomes to remember where the lies end and I begin. There's only a mission I never chose and a man I was never meant to love, standing between me and a war that will decide the fate of the world. But if I'm the spark, maybe he's the fuse, and the gods, they're about to wake up angry. That sounds so good. This next book I'm so excited about because up until now it has been indie published and it has been getting like 6-star reviews from all the major booktubers on YouTube, and it was picked up to be traditionally published. The Wolf King by Lauren Pell Freeman. I am so excited about this book. Like I said, it's getting glowing reviews. Here's the only criticism I am going to give. This is a B format hardcover. Don't love that. Wish they had just done a regular A format hardcover. This is a regular size hardcover. This is a tiny little B format. I hate B format books. I don't like the way they feel in my hand. I think they're just kind of cheesy. So I don't love that they did that, but whatever. I think that this could have made a really great sized A format hardcover. So I wish they had done that. That's okay though. I love the edition. I want to mark you as mine, and I can think of countless ways I would do it. Countless ill-advised, highly pleasurable ways I would do it. Okay. A princess and an alpha werewolf form a forbidden bond amidst a war between humans and wolves, leading to a thrilling and passionate adventure. An adult fantasy romance featuring werewolves, forbidden romance, and enemies to lover. When a princess is kidnapped by an alpha, war rages between the humans and the wolves, but soon forbidden attraction starts to grow. I am so into like werewolf alpha stories, and this I've heard is amazing. Battery died, so if I'm at a slightly different angle, sorry. Another arc that I was able to pick up that I'm very excited about is Dragon Cursed by Elise Kova. This is her new release and the one that I'm probably the most excited about that I got because it's about dragons, so obviously. I'm not gonna lie, I'm also gonna pick up the traditional hardcover when it comes out because it is coming out in a special edition with gorgeous sprayed edges. I'll post like a photo of it right here. I need this on my shelves. It's beautiful. But when the arc was made available to me, I was like, yep, this has to happen. So this says, in the last city of Vingard, a person fears being dragon cursed, a condition that transforms humans into mindless beasts while being watched by the mysterious Lucan. What is that? Oh, I guess Lucan is a person. The only other person who might suspect my secret, he's like my shadow, following me wherever I go, part protector, part tormentor, fully annoying. Sometimes I think I'm just one of the million unfathomable secrets he keeps hidden, because Lucan definitely knows something, and if I'm dragon cursed, death might be the only mercy I get. So is this like, it doesn't sound like a bodyguard, but I guess enemies to lovers, maybe? So this next book I've actually had on my Kindle literally forever. It's an older book, and admittedly, I've never been totally positive that I'm actually going to read it, because for some reason it is an intimidating book to me, because I think it's a little bit more of like a high fantasy. I think there is a romance element, but I think it's a little bit of a more epic fantasy than I usually read. I usually have to have the romance at the forefront of my romantic fantasies, as opposed to like a grander adventure with a subplot of romance. And that is the way I've been understanding this next book. But when you see the edition that recently came out, I believe it's an anniversary edition, you will understand why it was in my cart so fast. And that is City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This edition is so stunning. I don't know what anniversary of this book it is. I'll have to look it up. But I just thought this was so beautiful, and I needed to have it. So I guess I kind of am committing to reading this book, because I think this is just such a pretty version. I love the purples and the oranges. I think this is stunning, so I guess I'm going to have to try it. This is book 1 of the Devabad trilogy, and it says a Khan woman with healing gifts accidentally summons a Jinn warrior and must flee Cairo with him to a magical kingdom where her presence threatens to ignite a centuries-old war. It's like an Egyptian demon. I mean, I can't even imagine, but it sounds excellent, and it has a cult following, but I do think it's a little bit of an intense, epic fantasy. The amount of awards that this book has gotten: finalist for the World Fantasy Award Best Novel, nominated for the Locus Award Best First Novel. This was her debut? Oh my goodness. Finalist for the British Fantasy Award Best Newcomer. It says it's for fans of The Golem and the Jinni, The Grace of Kings, and Uprooted. The future of a magical Middle Eastern kingdom rests in the hands of a clever and defiant young con artist with miraculous healing gifts. And it was originally published in 2017. So maybe this isn't an anniversary edition. Maybe they just re-released it, but long story short, it's beautiful and I had to have it. Next up, you will never believe the arc that I was able to grab. I was so shocked when I saw it, and I was like, that is coming home with me, even though I haven't even started the original series he wrote that I really want to. That is Operation Bounce House by Matt Dinniman. This is by the author of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I do not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe that this is in the Dungeon Crawler Carl universe. I think this is separate and new, probably with his signature style, but I think this is a new series from him. It says a man must fight for his planet against impossible odds when gamers from Earth attempt to remotely annihilate it in this epic, fast-paced novel from the New York Times bestselling author of smash hit Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yeah, this is new. So this isn't in the Dungeon Crawler Carl universe. This game is called Operation Bounce House. That's what the game is called. So this is a whole new series from him. I am so excited. I've been wanting to get into Dungeon Crawler Carl, and when I saw this arc, I was like, snatched it right up. Mine, mine, mine.
Has he awoken? Has he awoken and is ready to come and meet the people and be a big old menace, boy? Yeah. Everyone, I would like you to meet Isaac, who is the new, oh my goodness, the new member of our family who has been taking up so much of Mama's time. Oh my goodness, we're such a sweet boy. Oh my goodness, we're such a sweet, sleepy boy. I know. We have about 5 minutes of sleepy boy. We have about 5 minutes of sleepy boy before we're back to being our little guy, huh? Our rough and tumble guy. I know. I know. Okay. Thank you so much of Mama's time. I know. Can the people get a good look at you, please? Without you being crazy, boy. This is Isaac. He is an 11 today. You're 11 weeks old today. He is 11-week-old Eastern German Shepherd, and he is a little monster. Huh? You've been a little monster in this house. I know. You've been a little monster, and he does not like to stay still. So go play. Go play. Get your bone. Here. Get your tray. Get your toy. Ready? Go get it. He has been keeping me busy. When he is asleep, he is the cutest darn little thing you will ever see. You're going to hear that in the background. But when he is awake, he is a terrorist. And we try to keep him entertained.
you get like 15 minutes of calm. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get done now. I might have to take a little break because I have to watch him. And we are currently in the process of potty training, and we are also teething. So we're chewing on everything. Yeah, but he has his bone and he's a good boy. So he is process of potty training and teething, and he's just kind of a little dictator that lives in my house now. So that is yet another reason why I have been MIA, because while we are very excited to have Isaac as a new member of our family, I do also have to make an announcement that at the beginning of December, we very sadly lost Newton, who anybody who's been on this channel has known Newton. He's popped up in quite a few of my videos. He was our almost 14-year-old, half Black Lab, half German Shepherd. And honestly, I have to like earmuff Isaac so he can't hear me. But Isaac has really big shoes to fill because Newton was, I know everyone says this about their dog, but I'm being serious. He was hands down the greatest dog that ever lived, and there will never be another one like him. And that was at the beginning of December, and we were heartbroken as a family. It was just all the things that go along with old age. So his hips gave out because he was a big dog. He was really struggling with his hips and arthritis and hip dysplasia, but he also went into renal, like kidney failure, and we're not entirely sure because we didn't have him tested because he was so old that he wasn't going to make it through whatever treatment they were going to suggest anyways. So our vet just thought it wasn't really worth putting him through the stress of testing him. But towards the end, he started having seizures multiple times a week. He would have a loss of balance and disorientation. So it is our assumption that something either neurologically or in his brain was going on. And like I said, at almost 14 years old, with all the other health conditions he had, he wasn't going to make it or do well with whatever treatment was suggested. So if we weren't going to do the treatment, we weren't going to put him through the stress of testing. So we did unfortunately have to help Newton over the Rainbow Bridge at the beginning of December. And we knew that it was going to hit our family hard, but I don't think we predicted how hard and how big of a hole it just felt was torn into the fabric of our household. And my husband surprised me with Isaac about 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and he has been a joy, but also he has completely taken over our house. And he is a very strong-willed, very determined little puppy. And if you know anything about Czechoslovakian, like Eastern German Shepherd, like working DDR dogs, they are gorgeous, they are stunning, but they are very smart and they are very busy little creatures, and they like to have a task at all times. So keeping him busy so that he doesn't destroy our home has been my full-time job. So he has also been one of the many reasons why I've been a little MIA, but he is such a joy and we are so happy to have him. So that is Isaac. Not that you can see him because he's currently chewing on his bone, and you're probably going to hear him going crazy in the background because he is now a well-rested 11-week-old puppy. So that is Isaac. I'm so excited you guys got to meet him. So on with the haul. Next, I picked up Fallen Stars by Amani Rayu. This is book 2 after Heavenly Bodies. What is this? The Heavenly Bodies series. There you go. That's pretty self-explanatory. This is the Barnes & Noble special edition of the soft covers. I do have the arc of the first one that will be downstairs. It's packed up and it was put in storage for our renovation. I'm not going to talk too much about this particular book because I think it's spoilery and I don't want to know, but I will say this: Heavenly Bodies was one of the coolest magic systems and one of the coolest worlds I've ever read about, and I really enjoyed my experience in that book. So I'm very excited to see where Amani takes it in the next book. I also grabbed The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. This is book 2 after The Spell Shop, which was actually a Homey and Homely book club pick from a couple of months ago. Not that long. Was it November's? Maybe? It might have been November's. And I really enjoyed it. It was a sapphic, cozy fantasy, a very quick read, and I definitely want to know what goes on from here on out in the series. And I wanted to make sure that I got the edition with the sprayed edges so that it matches my Spell Shop, which has these pretty purple sprayed edges. So cute. Next up, I grabbed The Intruder by Frida McFadden. So I don't normally pick up physical copies of Frida McFadden's books because I do read them on Kindle Unlimited typically for free. However, this is the first time I've seen Frida put out a special edition with sprayed edges and a hardcover, and the sprayed edges say, "What is she hiding?" I was so intrigued about this, and I just thought that this was such a pretty edition that I wanted to own it. But Admittedly, I don't usually purchase physical copies of Frida's books. This says, during a hurricane, Casey discovers a blood-covered girl with a knife outside her isolated cabin. The mysterious intruder harbors a deadly secret that threatens both their lives. There's someone at your front door. Should you let them in? Find out in a riveting new thriller. What do you... No, 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 no. No, no, no. Here. There's your bone. Get it. Get it. Puppy problems. He is in the mode right now where he is just chewing on anything that comes near him, and he was just trying to chew on my vacuum hose. So that's a no-go, but he has his bone again. Okay. There's someone at your front door. Should you let them in? Who knows what the storm will blow in? Casey's cabin in the wilderness is not built for a hurricane. Her roof shakes, the lights flicker, and the tree outside her front door sways ominously in the wind. But she's a lot more worried about the girl she discovers lurking outside her kitchen window. She's young, she's alone, and she's covered in blood. I'm so intrigued. So this next book is a little bit of not really a departure for me. I love a good nonfiction. However, this particular subject is probably something I wouldn't have been super interested in if I didn't have a 15-year-old who was starting to think about these things. But I did grab The College Scam by Charlie Kirk. I have been so intrigued about this. It says how America's universities are bankrupting and brainwashing away the future of America's youth. I am beyond heartbroken about what happened to Charlie Kirk, regardless of your political affiliation. What happened to him was heartbreaking. That a young father was executed in front of a college, a sea of college students, is just heartbreaking. And I did really enjoy listening to him, and I loved the debates that he had with people, because I'm a person that loves to hear both sides, and I feel as though he was just very respectful and listening to the other person's side and arguing his points. And I love that form of debate where you hear an opposing view and then you hear another view and then you hear the response, like kind of like a call and response, a debate and rebuttal type of setup. And I just thought it was fascinating, and I like hearing points from both sides. And one thing that I've always been really intrigued about that Charlie Kirk has talked about is how America's college system has kind of transformed into something that's more like a debt collection process than most of anything else. And I am definitely excited to read this. So after pulling all of the shoes off the shoe rack, Isaac is now eating lunch directly next to me. So you're going to hear him pushing around his plate and probably hitting his bowl because he's a wild feral eater, but he's entertained for the minute. So sorry if you hear him. But so like I was saying, anyways, so as someone who does have a 15-year-old son who is a high school athlete, who is a National Honor Society member, who does think he wants to go to college, he's not positive because obviously at 15 you don't know what you want to do with your life. I'm interested to see what Charlie Kirk's opinions, I was about to say were, which is so heartbreaking, but what his opinions were about the college system, and just make sure that I'm doing all available research. I went to school on a scholarship, so I don't have any student debt, and I know that's not always possible for all people, so I'm just intrigued as to what his positions were, and just like do some research on it. So I did pick up The College Scam by Charlie Kirk. I actually want to get his other book that was just released as well, Stop in the Name of God, I think it's called, about practicing the Sabbath and things like that. I find his take on things very fascinating. So yeah, I want to read this. Another arc that I was super excited to find was We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark. I am so pumped for this book. I actually did receive a special edition of this book that I'm going to show in our special edition section. So you will see this book come back again. But when I saw this advanced reader copy, I had to grab it. It says, survive the arena, save my brothers, kill the emperor. 2 vampires stand between me and my mission. One who shattered my heart, one who torments me at court. Let the games begin. I did not know this was Deadly Games and vampires, so I'm in it, and I know it's been getting great reviews. Really? That's his bowl. Hey, we don't need to be dragging our bowl around like that. That's crazy. Go get your toy. Come on, let's get Monkey. Let's get Monkey and Chicky. Come on. Get Monkey and Chicky. Monkey and Chicky, Monkey and Chicky. Go get them. All right, go get them. He doesn't like that I'm not paying attention to him. This is why I've been MIA. He has Chicky. Good job. Get Chicky. Good job, Bubba. So you're going to hear the squeak in the background. Sorry, there's nothing I could do about it, and he's leaving me alone. So it's a win-win. Good boy. You're being a good boy. You get Chicky? Get him, Bubba. Get the Chicky. Get him. It's so funny because our other dog, Newton, actually didn't enjoy dog toys. He just was never into it. He had like a tennis ball that we would throw him outside, but when he got inside, he was just like a lazy, sleepy lab. Like he had a dog toy here or there, but he didn't really show any interest in them. This dog has a million dog toys and it's required. If he doesn't have a dog toy, he will tear up everything in his sight. He will chew our woodwork. He likes wires. He likes to chew wires. So if he doesn't have a toy in his mouth, anarchy ensues. So you're just going to hear about that for a little while. Next up was one of my most anticipated sequel releases, and that is Between Two Kings by Lindsay Straub. This is book 2 after Kiss of the Basilisk. I loved that book. I loved that book. Spicy monster erotica. It's like basilisk erotica, but the world building and the character work were so good. I can't get over this week. We might have to take a break if this continues. I hope it's not annoying you. It's very aggressive squeaking. Get him, Bubba. Chicky never knew what was coming. Yeah. Okay. But long story short, I absolutely loved Kiss of the Basilisk, and this edition matches the gorgeous Kiss of the Basilisk edition that I have. That was a gift from the wonderful Cheyenne, so I had to grab this, and this is actually one of my most anticipated sequels that's come out. I am so excited to get back in this world. If you don't mind intense spice, like a little bit of monster spice, definitely pick up Kiss of the Basilisk. Another multiple edition of a book I obviously already have, but it had to come home with me. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, released in hardcover with these gorgeous gold sprayed edges. And it has, where is it? One of the ribbon bookmarks that I absolutely love when special edition books do. And it has these gorgeous end papers in it. How beautiful. How many loves in a lifetime? The classic Magnolia Parks with this stunningly beautiful naked hardcover. I saw it with the reverse dust jacket and I was like, that's a given. That's coming home with me because I absolutely love the Magnolia Parks series. It is excellent. Toxic Gossip Girl in London vibes. So if that sounds like something you'd like, if you were a Gossip Girl fan back in the day like I was, you will love Magnolia Parks. I should have talked about this when I talked about Crown Tide. I've completely forgot that I picked up Grimm and Oro, which is the reversible hardcover little novella, dual novella series that goes along with the Lightlark series. This edition is so beautiful. I love the reverse stories. I am so into it, but the other day I accidentally put it away in the wrong sides and that drove me nuts. So I want to make sure I don't do that again. I just did it. Oh no. No. Yes. I think I did. Okay. No. This way. This way. Yes, okay. I did put it away in the wrong direction, so I wanted to grab this as well. I have to be honest with you, I don't know what the point of this was. Just little novellas that went along with the series, but it was gorgeous and I had to have it, so. Another book that's been making its way around BookTube is The Second Death of Locke by V.L. Bovolino. I've heard such amazing things about this book. I know, dust on it. I know that Destiny just read this and liked it. I think she gave it like a 4 something stars, maybe a 4.25, something like that, and really liked it. I've seen it getting glowing reviews. Ooh, I like that. For some reason, am I the only one who's like this? I like when they do different fonts in a book. Like I like when there's like communications and they switch the font to like handwriting font. I don't know why that scratches an itch in my brain so much, but I like that, which means there also might be maybe a little bit of mixed media in this book. Wow. Really pretty illustrations in it as well. I know next to nothing about this. I think this is medieval core, I'm pretty sure. It says Gray Flynn serves as blade and healer to her mage Kier, wielding magical powers as the heir of Locke. Their quest to protect an enemy's child tests their bonds and forces difficult choices. Perfect for fans of Rachel Gillig and Alex E. Harrow. I am fans of both. A devastatingly romantic epic fantasy about the undying bond between a knight and their mage. So I think it's a female knight and her mage. Is that like her bodyguard? I should probably look this up before I read this, but I've heard the writing is beautiful. Another arc that I was able to get my hands on is Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston. This is the author of First Lie Wins that I know was a mystery thriller that a lot of people really enjoyed. And this one says 2 women swap identities for 12 hours to uncover secrets, but when one's husband is found murdered the next morning, they both need airtight alibis. 2 women, 1 dead husband, and only 1 alibi. This releases pretty soon on January 13th, so I'm probably not going to get to it before it releases, but it sounds really good. I also grabbed People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. This is the same author that wrote Out on a Limb, which is the only one by her that I've actually had a chance to pick up. And I did really, really like it. It wasn't a 5-star read, but I thought it was a very cute little romance. This is her newest release. And it says a small town introvert's life changes when she meets a wandering adventurer, leading to a spicy romance that challenges both to step outside their comfort zones. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't heard the best things about this one. I don't think this is one of her more loved works, but I really did like her writing, and I'm willing to kind of form my own opinions. And I do really like this cover. I like the art style of it. When I was shopping in Barnes one day, I went to the cafe and I got like a coffee and I think a cookie. And they do this thing in Barnes & Noble where it's like a $5 cafe special. Once a month, they pick a book. And if you make a purchase in the cafe, you also get this book for $5. And I grabbed the cafe special, and that month it was pumpkin spice and everything nice. I think this was the November cafe special. And I just thought for $5, it was a really cute, adorable sounding little book. It says Lucy Kane hates pumpkin spice lattes, which is a problem because Lucy lives in a quaint New England town of Briar Glen, where everyone loves all things autumn, and she's a barista at her mom's coffee shop, Cup of Joe. As the first fall leaves descend upon Briar Glen, Lucy and her mom gear up for a busy season. But then Java Junction, a multinational coffee chain, opens a store literally across the street, home of the world-famous pumpkin spice latte. To make matters worse, it turns out that Jack Harper, the new kid in school, and Lucy's secret crush, is the son of the owners. Talk about mixing business with pleasure. If Cup of Joe wants to survive the competition from Java Junction, Lucy will have to set aside her feelings for the popular drink and Jack to make this the coziest, pumpkin spiciest season ever. That just sounds so cute, and this cover, adorable. The next book I picked up, I'm so excited about, and that is Blackthorn by J.T. Gessinger. J.T. Gessinger has done some very dark romances, and I've been super intrigued by their works. It says, you never forget your first love. This is the beautiful first edition with the sprayed edges. Obviously, I had to have it. Look at this character artwork. I just think it's so cool. And this really cool naked hardcover. It's so beautiful. You never forget your first love, especially when he's also your worst nightmare. A dark gothic romance. Maven Blackthorn returns home for her grandmother's funeral only to find the body missing. What? Her grandmother's body? She confronts Ronan Croft, her former love and son of her mother's suspected killer, as dark family secrets emerge. Whoa. That's a lot in 2 sentences. So she comes home for her grandmother's funeral. Her body is missing. And then she needs to go up to a man who is the family member of a person who's suspected of killing her mother. That is like a bridge too far for me. I don't know that we'd ever be friends. It's a scorching new enemies to lovers romance filled with explosive secrets, nail-biting gothic suspense, and the dangerous lore of dark magic. He's getting water. Sorry. A page-turning gothic romance with darker themes and scenes that may not be suitable for everyone. Okay, Revenge, Touch Her and Die, Shadier Than Shade Hero, Forbidden Romance, Grumpy, Plot Twists Galore, Beauty and the Beast, Enemies to Lovers to ? I am so intrigued by this author's writing. I've been in kind of like a dark romance kick lately where it's intriguing me, so I might have to pick this up. I was also able to grab an arc of My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. By the way, that title is diabolical. My Husband's Wife. What in the heck? This released on January 20th, so it's not too far from being out. And it says, artist Eden Fox returns home to find a stranger claiming to be her husband's wife, while Birdie discovers a clinic predicting death dates, leading to a web of deception at Spyglass House. Eden Fox, an artist on the brink of her big break, sets off for a run before her first exhibition. When she returns to the home she recently moved into, Spyglass, an enchanting old house in Hope Falls, nothing is as it should be. Her key doesn't fit, a woman eerily similar to her answers the door, and her husband insists that the stranger is his wife. One house, one husband, 2 women. Someone is lying. 6 months earlier, a reclusive Londoner called Birdie, reeling from a life-changing diagnosis, inherits Spyglass. This unexpected gift from a long-lost grandmother brings her to the pretty seaside village of Hope Falls. But then Birdie stumbles upon a shadowy London clinic that claims to be able to predict a person's date of death, including her own. Secrets start to unravel, and as the line between truth and lies blurs, Birdie feels compelled to right some old wrongs. A tangled web of deception, obsession, and mystery. I'm very confused by that synopsis. It sounds like we have 2 different stories running at 2 different times, but that is just confusing as all hell. I also grabbed The Gingerbread Bakery by Lori Gilmore. This is in the pumpkin spice latte. I think, what is it called? Dream Falls, something like that. Dream Harbor. This is book 5 in the Dream Harbor series. I was saying Dream Falls, but it's not. The Sweetest Things Are Worth the Wait. I have to say, this series, I read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and that's as far as I went with it, and I did like it. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite thing. It was a very cozy, spicy, like small town mystery series, which I really enjoyed. Oh my goodness. We're learning how to growl, so we're growling at our Kong ball. Like I was saying, I did like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. It wasn't my favorite thing I ever read, but I really did enjoy it. But these covers are everything. I just think these are some of the prettiest covers of any books that have been releasing soon, and I just had to pick it up. This is the Gingerbread Bakery book 5. It's another small town, spicy, festive romance about Annie Andrews, who owns the beloved Gingerbread Bakery in Dream Harbor. So, very cute. We might have to take a break from filming and just let the zoomies run their course, because the zoomies are zooming right now, and he's not doing anything wrong. He's actually being really good. He's just really loud. He's a really loud, aggressive squeaker. Seemed like a 5-second break for you, but it was actually about an hour and a half long break. I did the school pickup. I brought the puppy with me. I think he's getting ready to start settling down for another nappy time now. He's still running around like a crazy person. He's at my feet right here. But I also decided that I want some Annie's mac and cheese. So that is on because I have not eaten lunch yet, but I think we're going to be able to squeeze in a few books. So let's continue. The next book I grabbed was Dust Storm by Maggie Gates. I love this cover. I think it is just so cute. I think it was so well done. I love the pink. I love the purple. It says, no hot cowboy is going to lasso her. A single dad rancher and a rich city girl bump heads and more when they meet on the Griffith family's sprawling cattle ranch in Texas. I had to try to say Griffith family like 17 times. Griffith family. Griffith family's sprawling ranch. So I guess single dad, cowboy, ranch in Texas. I'm into it. I am very excited for this series. I have not read book 1 because it's another one I'm intimidated by, but I of course grabbed The Strength of the Few by James Islington or Islington. I think it's Islington. Maybe. This is book 2 and the Hierarchy series after The Will of the Many, and I'm very intrigued by it. It is definitely a chunky book, and I was a little bit initially concerned that The Will of the Many would be hard to understand, but from everything I'm seeing, it's actually not. It's actually a pretty easy concept to grasp, so that makes me a little less intimidated, but definitely have to get to that one. Might be talking about it in my next video. Spoiler alert. He just laid down in his bed next to me, so I think we are approaching nappy time. We always say that there's 35 to 45 minutes of chaos for a 15-minute nap. That's kind of like the cycle we go through for the day. So I think we are entering 15-minute nappy time. So let's try to get this done and eat my mac and cheese. I am so excited for this next book. This might be one of the ones I'm most excited about. I grabbed Hollow by the Twisted Sisters. Carolyn Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. This is their first foray outside of Zodiac Academy, like that universe, because I know they did like Echo Fort, I forget what Neverkeep and Echo Fort, but that is still, I think, slightly interconnected with Zodiac Academy. I think this is their first like adventure outside of it. This is the Crown of Hearts and Chaos series, and I did get this, which is the Barnes & Noble special edition. I love this version. I admittedly think the other cover, this one, is actually kind of a little bit more pretty. I think I like the colors more, but I like the design of this one with the sprayed edges, so I decided to grab it. I don't really know much about this, but it says, don't listen to the whispers of the woods, don't trust the man cloaked in shadow, don't earn the wrath of the scattered spirits, don't go out after dark. The great hunt begins once every 50 years, and only the champions willing to face death to shatter the curse dare to enter. The champions and me. All I know is that the character art in this version is beautiful. I see dragons, I see deadly games, I see this very handsome man right here, and I am into it. I'm a little confused about the artwork on the back though. Like, what in the heck? Do you see this? Why is she upside down? That's kind of weird, but okay. Quick tip for this very scatterbrained haul. today. I am a Annie's white cheddar mac and cheese fanatic. I love it, but I do not make it the way they suggest to. I'm going to talk you through my mac and cheese recipe because I say give it a try. So I do Annie's mac and cheese with obviously the cheese packet that's in Annie's, but then I do a half a stick of butter, similar to how you would make like a box of Kraft mac and cheese. I do a half a stick of butter. I don't even measure my milk. I just do like a splash of milk because I like it to be more flavored and less watery. And then I take a handful of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. This stuff right here, I'll take like probably what's left in there actually, and I will put shredded sharp cheddar in and mix it around with everything else, and it is literally the most delicious thing you will ever eat. It is such a quick like mom lunch, but I love it. So suggestion from me, add finely shredded sharp cheddar cheese to your Annie's with a half a stick of butter, a little bit more than the box suggests, because it kind of creates this like melty cheese sauce, and it is delicious. So that's what I'm about to eat. Oh, and also, do not cook your noodles to hell. I like al dente. I think it makes the cheese sauce taste a little bit better, so make sure your noodles are a little firm. There's nothing worse than mac and cheese with like slimy, overcooked, mushy noodles. Don't do that. Make sure your noodles are al dente, especially if you're gonna put the cheddar in there, because it kind of creates a cheese sauce with the noodles that the noodles like absorb, like the cheese sauce can stick to the noodles, but if you overcook them, it's not as good. Do not overcook your noodles, that's gross. While my noodles are cooking, I also grabbed an arc of Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter. This is so cool. It's like blood, what does it say? Choose a side, April 2026. That's when it comes out with this cover. I think this, I'm based on this, is also a dragon book. There's dust on it. Is also a dragon book. I don't know really what it's about though. And guess what? This one is coming out with a really pretty special edition too, right here. So I'm also gonna probably grab this one in hardcover when it comes out. It's releasing April 28th, 2026. So I'm probably also gonna be grabbing that. But in the meantime, it says in a high stakes magical duel, witch Astrid must face dragon rider Prince Zryan for control of the heart while Skylar's search for her friend leads to unexpected alliances. A debut high-stakes fantasy romance trilogy set against a once-in-a-generation duel to the death between rival witches and dragon riders as they battle to control the source of all magics in their kingdom. Perfect for fans of Fourth Wing, Throne of Glass, and Quicksilver, which I'm a fan of all of those. Kind of controversy. Throne of Glass hasn't exactly blown my mind, but it's decent. Next up, I also grabbed The Damned by Harper L. Woods. This is book 3 after The Coven and The Curse. I have not read that, but once again, I wanted to make sure I got the special edition with the sprayed edges that matches the other two I have. I'm not going to read too much into this, but I know The Coven is obviously, as the name suggests, it's like a witchcraft and I think vampire book. I'm not sure, but this is book 3. It says witchy, dark, forbidden romance. So there you go. Next up, I have a gift from the fabulous Robin. Robin sent me Nightshade by Autumn Woods from my list with a little note that says, happy belated Christmas. I hope you enjoy your holidays and happy new year. May the new year bring more 5 stars from Robin. Thank you so much, Robin. You're the sweetest. And this book I have been wanting to read for so long. Ever since I saw Emmy read this book, I've been so intrigued by it. It says he'll burn the world down for her and she'll burn his to the ground. Mystery, Murder, Revenge, Welcome to Sorrow Song University. So this is book 1 in Sorrow Song University series. And it says, at Sorrow Song University, scholarship student Ophelia investigates her parents' deaths while falling for Alex, the son of her prime suspect. A spicy, dark academia romance with murder mystery elements. A dark academia TikTok sensation packed with romantic suspense, murder, and addictive enemies to lovers tension. Oh, and then they have like a little quote from it and it says, I'll love you with the same intensity that you hate me. That seems like peak enemies to lovers. Next up, I actually bought 3 books by the same author. If you can tell by the sprayed edges what these are, I'll be very impressed. But I bought Leave Me Behind, My Blade, Your Back, and Your Knife, My Heart by K.M. Moranova, excuse me. How pretty are these? I just think they're so beautiful. I love her covers and I love the way the sprayed edges look together, and she did the sprayed edges that wrap to the top as well. I just think they're so cool. I don't know what order these are supposed to be read in, if at all, or if they're interconnected, but I did buy Leave Me Behind first. I think this one released before the other two. This one says, together our broken pieces can do anything. This is a standalone, and it says a lone survivor joins an elite squad, unexpectedly falling for her cruel superior during a perilous mission where they must rely solely on each other. a biting, suspenseful, dark romance set inside an elite special ops squad. And then it says the tropes are dark special ops romance, enemies to lovers, high stakes and danger, found family, touch her and die. Brutal, emotional, and unforgettable in a dark, aching romance. Flawed, vicious characters you can't help but fall for. That sounds so good. I just completed a little research and I have confirmed that Your Knife, My Heart is book 1 and My Blade, Your Back is book 2. So book 1 and book 2. I'm not going to read the synopsis for this one because I don't know if it's going to be spoilery since the second series, but I did grab the synopsis for this one and it says, a clinically insane assassin must fight his murderous urges while training with his new partner in a brutal underground military organization. Interesting. And everything that I see for this just keeps talking about how dark it is. So I guess it's dark. I also made sure to pick up My Friends by Frederick Bachman. Now, the Homey and Homey Book Club did read Beartown as one of our choices, and I'm going to be honest with you, it didn't blow my mind like a lot of people are loving Beartown. I just didn't think it was that fantastic. It was a little too long and a little too slow for me, but the one thing I did really enjoy was Frederick Bachman's writing itself. I thought he was a very talented writer, and some of the prose and the phrasing and the way that he described things, used his language, was very lyrical and beautiful to me. And the way that he described some feelings that the characters were having, I was like, oh, I like that. I've never heard it quite described that way, and I liked it. So I definitely would give more of his works a try. And this is his new release, which is called My Friends. I'm very excited for this one, but I don't know too much about it. So right on the inside of the cover, it says, the world is full of miracles, but none greater than how far a young person can be carried by someone else's belief in them. It says 4 teenagers find solace in each other's company and their friendship blossoms into a powerful bond that changes a stranger's life 25 years later. Frederick Bachman does a really great job of describing interpersonal friendships and relationships, and he really crafts and weaves a found family. So I think I'm really going to enjoy this in this work, but Beartown kind of left me wanting a little bit. So if I'm not totally in love with this one, I might just kind of have to accept that Frederick Bachman just isn't for me. We will see that. I also picked up Daddy Issues by Kate Goldbeck, another cover I absolutely adore the artwork on. I'm trying to think of what Kate Goldbeck wrote that I know of. Oh, You Again. She wrote You Again. I have not read that one yet, but I do own it. And this seems pretty short. It's like 320 pages. It says, a sharp-witted, steamy, modern love story from the best-selling author of You Again. At 26, Sam Pulaski expected to be thriving in an exciting career, not stuck in her hometown crashing with her mom. But when a single dad becomes her new neighbor and she finds herself attracted to his steady, settled life and quiet confidence, she realizes she might not know what she wants after all. So neighbor, single dad, small town, like kind of like down on her luck, sounds super cute. And I'm intrigued to see what I think of this author's writing, because I think You Again was pretty polarizing. I just had to get a cough drop because I've been talking on and off today and I'm still trying to kick this kind of annoying cold. I still have this like slightly lingering cough and I find myself getting really hoarse. So I'm sorry if it's annoying and you can tell that I have a cough drop in my mouth, but my voice, not completely back where it should be at. Next one I picked up is kind of an older book that I've seen make the rounds a couple of times, but I saw it on sale in a really floppy paperback and I'm intrigued by it. That is Older by Jennifer Hartman. I've heard really great things about Jennifer Hartman's work, and I really loved this kind of like floppy, large size paperback. This is like my preferred paperback, the bigger sized floppy ones with the really nice size writing in them. I don't know anything about this. Before he discovered my age, he uncovered my heart. Bruised, abused, and victim to a loveless household, I shimmered with new life the moment he found me drowning my sorrows in a lake beneath the stars. A chance encounter, an unspoken connection. I was smitten, he was curious, but as everyone knows, fate can be decidedly cruel. He called me Hallie like the comet. I called him Reed, and my best friend, well, she called him Dad. What? Okay. Age gap. Best friend's father? Do I need to like pick this right up? Because that sounds amazing. Next up, I picked up Bitten by Jordan Stephanie Gray. I was going to say Jordana Gray. I don't know where I got that, but Jordan Stephanie Gray. A deliciously dark and sexy romance, the book bites back. by Stephanie Garber. So I got this first edition with the sprayed edges. I think this is a really pretty edition as well. I don't know if it does have character artwork on the inside. Let's see. So it has the really cool character artwork. Anything on the cover? Ooh, oh my gosh. Digitally printed cover. Oh, this edition is beautiful. I didn't even realize it had that. I'm into that. So I did find this in the YA fantasy section. So this is YA. Legacies will rise, kingdoms will unite, greatness beckons. After a werewolf attack kills her loved ones, Vanessa transforms into a beast and joins a magical court where she seeks revenge while caught between two princes. Little love triangle. Twilight meets Powerless in this fast-paced and romantic debut in which a teenage girl must survive ruthless werewolves, a glittering court, and deadly politics to exact revenge on the monsters who destroyed her. For fans of forbidden romance, enemies to lovers, werewolves, and paranormal romance. So I feel like I just said that I found this in the young adult fantasy section, which is true, but the note actually fell out because I purchased it and then came home that same day and there was a box sitting on my porch, and when I opened it, this book was in it, and it was a gift from Alexa. It was another book from Alexa. So I had lost the little note, but it's in there now, Alexa. I have it. So I went back the next time I went to Barnes & Noble and returned it and kept Alexa's edition, but it is in the young adult, like science fiction fantasy section if you're looking for it. But Alexa, this one was from you too. Thank you so much. I also picked up The Things Gods Break by Abigail Owen. This is book 2 after the Games Gods Play in this series. I don't know what this series is called. Correct me in the comments below, but it might be called the Crucible series. I'm not really sure. But once again, I wanted to get it in the first edition hardcover because I have the Games Gods Play with the sprayed edges and I like them matching. So it is a very pretty edition. Ooh, and it does have character art. That's really cool. It has like a Dante's Inferno vibe to it, doesn't it? So a little character art and then a pretty design on the naked hardcover. So very pretty. I'm not going to read the back of this because I have not read the Games Gods Play yet and I don't want any spoilers, but beautiful edition. Yet another series that I really haven't seen anybody talking about yet is the Dunbridge Academy series. So I picked up book 1, which is Anywhere, and book 2, which is Anyone, in these really pretty paperback editions. I don't know really anything about this, but the editions really got me. I think they're beautiful. So I'm not going to talk about the second one, but let's see what the first one's about. So the first one is called Anywhere. It says he could be anywhere, but he's here with me. Emma didn't come to Scotland to fall in love. Her exchange year at Dunbridge Academy has one purpose: finding clues about the father who abandoned her family. Enter Henry Bennington, gorgeous, charming, and unfortunately taken. He seems to be everywhere in her advanced classes, during her morning runs, and at the midnight parties. Just as happiness seems within reach, fate intervenes. Now Emma must choose between uncovering the truth about her past or fighting for a future with Henry, knowing either choice might break her heart. An addicting read for anyone desiring a chance to escape on a journey of young love and finding out who you are in the process. I love that it takes place in Scotland. That's really interesting. Is this YA though? Let's see. Anywhere, Dunbridge Academy. It is not YA. It's categorized as adult. Interesting. Okay, well, I picked up books 1 and 2, so we'll have to see what I think about it. Another gift from an amazing subscriber, Alexa, is Bad Bishop by L.J. Shen. Yet another absolutely stunning paperback edition. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And L.J. Shen is an author I've really been wanting to try. She has written so many books that have really sounded intriguing to me, but this cover right here makes me so intrigued, except for the spider in the eye. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I could have done without that. And I'm hoping that spiders don't have something to do with this book. But Alexa wrote the note that says, here are a few books to add to your shelves once you finish your new basement. So sorry you lost your books in the flood. How sweet is that? How sweet is that? And I'm actually thinking there might even be room for extra shelves in our basement, in my library downstairs when it's finished. And I'm kind of thinking maybe I'll have I didn't mean to just flick you guys off. That's not what I meant to do. Sorry. Poorly choiced. I actually think there might be room to make a shelf, maybe totally for gifted books from you guys, which I think might be really fun. If in our spin wheel challenges, there's a shelf, shelf number 29 or something, that's all gifted books. I think that would be so cool. So maybe that's what inspired me. In this dark mafia romance, a woman's life changes when she's forced into an arranged marriage with an Irish crime boss after a tragic night leaves her pregnant. Oh my gosh. A dark age gap mafia romance. Why is the age gap like intriguing me right now? When I read the age gap best friends father's what is it, Older by Jennifer Hartman, and now this, I'm kind of intrigued, and I really haven't read a ton of age gap romance. Ooh, this might unlock like a new trope for me. Next up, I grabbed The Last Wish of Bristol Keats. This is the second book after The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. And once again, this was another classic example of the first edition being so beautiful, and I wanted it to match my Courting of Bristol Keats. Nothing exciting on the inside, but I'm not going to read the back of this because I have not read the first one, but I just think this edition is stunning. Yet another gift from a subscriber. I got Dear Reader by Tate James. This book I'm so excited to get into, even though I have heard really good things about this one and the second one, but I have heard not very good things about the third and final book in the trilogy. However, I want to form my own opinion because Tate James is another author that is really, really intriguing me. I actually am really interested in her Hate series as well. I think it's Hate series is what it's called, but very intrigued. This is, once again, the edition with the sprayed edges, which really speaks to me. The weirdest part about this is the first book, this one, and then the third book look really similar and they look cohesive, like they match. But then the second book, I think it's called Watch Your Back, but don't quote me. They did it in like the reverse. It's like a white cover. And I've seen all three of them next to each other on the shelves. And the second one doesn't even look like it belongs, which really irritates me. So I guess I'm kind of secretly hoping that they will come out with like a black second version that matches these ones, because I don't like the way the second book looks with the rest. Is that just me? Not that it really matters, but this one is another one that is also from Alexa, and it says, here are a few books to add to your shelves once you finish your new basement. She is so sweet. I forget how many she sent, but at least 2. Girl, you're crazy. Thank you so much. Another book that I grabbed that I was so excited about because I really actually have enjoyed this author in the past. I grabbed The Mating Game by Lana Ferguson. This is book 2 after The Fake Mate by her, and I loved The Fake Mate. I have said it several times on this channel, if you aren't like a Omegaverse werewolf person and you don't know some of like the anatomical, interesting things that are kind of synonymous with Omegaverse and smutty werewolf books, you might want to maybe do a little research before you go into The Fake Mate. Be careful with your Google searches though, because you'll end up on some weird lists. But my point is, do some safe, responsible research, because you might not like the anatomical werewolf lessons that go on in The Fake Mate. I know that's the biggest criticism that I've seen, that people are like, that was a lot. It wasn't a lot for me because I've read it before. I know the typical Omegaverse tropes and what happens, but I am so excited to go into book 2 because I ate up Fake Mate. I think I might have read Fake Mate in like one sitting. It's so easy to read. It's so bingeable, and all of her books have been. I also read The Nanny by her, and I liked it. It was okay, but I really, really liked her writing in The Fake Mate, and I think her writing and her prose and her banter works perfectly for more of like the paranormal, like fantastical writing. Her more contemporary romances were a little cringy to me, so I'm so excited to get into this one. You know I had to pick up Empire of the Dawn, so I have Empire of the Vampire, which is the first one, in the floppy paperback edition because I kind of was turned on to this series after it had already mostly gone out of print in hardcover. And one thing about me is I'm not special ordering a hardcover. I buy what I find on the shelves that day. I'm an instant gratification kind of person. I want to walk out with it that day. I'm really not interested in ordering. However, I did know about the series when Empire of the Damned came out, which was the second one. So I have that one in the hardcover. And now, of course, the third and final one in the trilogy I have in the hardcover. This book is absolutely massive. How many pages is this? Like over 750 pages, and I'm really hoping I like this series because I own them all now and I haven't read them, but I've heard great things about this series. I don't know too much about it, but what I do know is that the way that Jay Kristoff writes vampires is more like the scary vampire, not like the sparkly, glittery, twilighty vampire. And I know a lot of people actually love the super brutal, kind of like violent vampire that he writes. So I'm really excited to see if I like this series. There is character art, which is really, really cool in this one. Very intriguing. Another book that I own the indie edition, but I just found this traditionally published. And when I show you this book, I don't even think I'll have to explain why I had to get this edition as well. This is the traditionally published Book of Asriel. Are you actually kidding me? Look at, are you serious? I saw this on the shelves and at first I was like, I already own the Book of Asriel. I have the floppy paperback indie edition. Like, I don't really need it. And then I picked it up just to hold it and I was like, in the cart. It's coming home with me. That is so beautiful to me. Honestly, these are some of the most vibrant, gorgeous sprayed edges I think I've ever seen. They did such an excellent job on those. And then you open it up and it has the gorgeous character art on the inside. And then look at that naked hardcover. I've said this before, but for me, when I'm reading a hardcover, I remove the dust jackets when I read it. So naked hardcover art and beautiful naked hardcovers are actually more important to me sometimes than end paper artwork because you don't really see this when you're reading, but you see this when you're reading. That is stunning. It has the Book of Asriel on the spine. It's just a gorgeous edition. And when I saw that, I was like, yeah. I'm gonna need all of these. Thank you. I obviously haven't read the book yet, but excuse me, who is this man? Who is this? Because I need to know. Our main female character, Diana, serves a monster while hunting a relic from Sam Kael, the World Ender. Together, these enemies must overcome their hatred to save all worlds. It's a viral book talk hit for fans of Sarah A. Partner, Jasmine Moss, do not like Jasmine Moss, Penn Cole, and Carrie Maniscalco. It's the first in the internationally beloved, slow burn, high stakes, epic romantasy featuring a villainous shapeshifter heroine and a tortured god king in a steamy, monstrous world. Ooh, there's a couple things that make me a little concerned in that description. I'm not a super slow burn lover all the time, so that's a little bit of a red flag. And then it's a high stakes, epic romantasy. How epic? How epic are we talking here? I've heard great things about this, so we're just gonna go with it, but comparing it to Jasmine Moss, not a great start. And then slow burn epic, little scary, but we're just gonna trust the process. And this edition, stunning. Another gift from an amazing subscriber, the Honeycrisp Orchard Inn from Valerie Bowman. I love this cover. How cute and cozy is that? I love that so much. And this note says, sorry to hear about your basement and the loss of your books. Hope this book brightens your day, from Bethany. Bethany, it did. It brightened my day. I was so excited when I got this because this is like the happy vibes that I need. I need to just numb out and read like a cozy, happy book. And this screams New England in the fall, which I live in New England, so perfect. It says, come away to the Honeycrisp Orchard Inn, where the air is crisp, the cider is sweet, the foliage is vibrant, and love is always around the corner. So cute. After losing her job and her boyfriend, Ellie returns to her family's inn at Honeycrisp Orchard, where she must work with attractive but stubborn Aiden to save the annual Harvest Festival. Well, that just sounds like a Hallmark movie. For fans of the Lovelight series and the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, this cozy and sexy romance follows a young event planner who returns to her family's inn on an apple orchard to help run their Harvest Festival, only to find herself butting heads with the handsome son of the apple orchard's owners. That sounds like Hallmark perfection. My voice. Jeez, I gotta get a cold drink. Another beautiful special edition, I got Ship of Spells by H. Layton Dixon. This is the hardcover first print edition. Let's see if there's any cover art. There is. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, it's a map. Oh, I love that. The Empire of Oversea. That is really, really, really pretty. With the foiled naked cover. That is really beautiful. A ship with secrets, a woman with nothing to lose, and a sea that wants them both dead. A war-scarred mage, a sentient ship, a secret that could drown empires. A war-scarred mage joins a mythic ship's crew, carrying a deadly magical secret while navigating political intrigue and a personal survival in a world divided by the Dread Wall. Oh, this is a Red Tower book too. Those are the people that did Fourth Wing. Morally gray characters, action, and wonderful world building. Perfect for fans of Leigh Bardugo and Erin Morgenstern. Very pretty edition. This next book has actually been going a little bit viral on Book Talk, but I still haven't heard too many people talking about it. That is Conform by Ariel Sullivan, and I was just approved for the arc of the second book as well. So I really do want to get to this. This is one of my highly anticipated reads. In the far future, one young woman becomes torn between two loves and two sides of a rebellion in the first novel of a sweeping dystopian romantasy series. In a dystopian future, Emmeline's life changes when she's chosen as a mate by an alum named Colin, leading her into a dangerous rebellion in a complex love triangle. An irresistible romantic debut with a love triangle that will have you picking sides, then changing sides again. So it says the alum are an elusive and technologically advanced group who constantly monitor the population's health and mandate procreation contracts. But Emily's bleak existence is shattered when, for the first time in decades, an alum named Colin takes a mate, her. This sounds so good. Yet another gift from an amazing subscriber. I got The Serpent and the Wolf by Rebecca Robinson. Yet another one of my really anticipated reads that I've heard great things about. I know Rachel Catherine read this and I believe loved it. A master of the spicy slow burn. Okay. A fake marriage meets enemies to lovers in Rebecca Robinson's steamy, thrilling romantasy debut, the start to a duology, perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas and Jennifer L. Armentrout. After inheriting dark magic, Vasa enters a political marriage with Reed to escape death. As they navigate betrayals and growing attraction, they must control her powers while surviving her brother's schemes. It combines high-stakes political intrigue and a steamy, slow-burn enemies-to-lovers romance. Oh, this says perfect for fans of Raven Kennedy and Tia Guanzon. There's a popular highlight here that a lot of people have read the book have highlighted, and it says, "You married me against my will. I was not aware of your objections. Would it have mattered? It would have changed everything." I think I'll love this. And the note that came with it says, "Enjoy your gift from Bethany H." Thank you so much. This was so sweet, and this is one of my ones that I'm really excited to read. Next up was actually a gift from my Aunt Martha. She was out shopping one day and she saw The Christmas Tree Farm, which is book 3, either 3 or 4. I think it's 3 in the Dream Harbor series. I think it's Pumpkin Spice Cafe, Cinnamon Buns Bookstore, Christmas Tree Farm, and then isn't it like Strawberry Pancake House and then Gingerbread Bakery, I think? I'm not sure. That's besides the point. But this is the special edition with the sprayed edges and the hardcover. Look at the Westie, the little dog on the sprayed edges. So cute. I'm a little confused as to how they're releasing these editions because they did the Pumpkin Spice Cafe first, which she bought me, and then they skipped Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and then they went right to Christmas Tree Farm. I'm assuming that's so this one came out around Christmas time. Like, I guess calendar-wise it makes sense, but I hope they're going to backtrack and do Cinnamon Bun Bookstore too. That would kind of make sense to me, but a little confusing. This one, once again, is just like the others. I'm assuming it's going to be a cozy, spicy little romance. Kira North hates Christmas, which is unfortunate since she just bought a Christmas tree farm in a town that's too cute for its own good. Bennett Ellis is on vacation in Dream Harbor, trying to take a break from both his life and his constant desire to always fix things. But somehow fate finds Ben trapped by a blanket of snow at Kira's farm, and despite her grinchiest first impressions, with the glow of the fairy lights twinkling in the trees and the promise of a warming hot chocolate, maybe, just maybe, these two lost souls will have a Christmas they'll remember forever. And look at the character art in this. Oh my god, and I'm just seeing the naked hardcover. Are you actually kidding me? That is so beautiful. Thank you, Aunt Martha. It's beautiful. I love the cover. Lori Gilmore knows how to make a cover. Next up, I picked up The Weaver Bride by Lydia Gregovich. Yet again, another really pretty special edition. Love is a Weapon on the sprayed edges. Such a pretty pale pink color with some end paper art. Nothing on the naked hardcover, but that's okay. A stunning tale of forbidden love. I tightened my grip on the handle. About me, two things were true. I was a liar and a thief, and my doors never failed. Gently, I pulled on the door, and though I possessed no key, it swung open. A silk witch enters a dangerous marriage competition to find a weaver husband while investigating the mysterious death of the previous winner. That didn't make any sense. I don't know what any of those words mean. It is a new adult book. It's a sweeping fantasy about a witch who must navigate a ruthless marriage competition and try not to fall in love along the way. It's an unputdownable romantasy steeped in a lush, magical world. It says, Lovett Tamerlane is a silk witch. Like all girls of her kind, she holds a rare magic, a magic that can be harnessed only through a marriage to a weaver. But finding a weaver husband requires status, refinement, and money, all of which Lovett sadly lacks. Her one secret ability to open any door is her saving grace. That's a kind of a strange ability to like open any door. Okay. Hidden in plain sight, Lovett spends her days using her gifts to steal from wealthy families and her nights avoiding the fate imposed on all unwed silk witches, a life confined to the cloisters. But opening doors can be dangerous, and when Lovett steals from the wrong person, she finds herself face to face with Elliot Lear, the notorious son of a prominent weaver. It turns out Elliot's been watching Lovett, he knows she's a silk witch, and he offers her a life-altering opportunity. Entrance to the Vainglory, a competition with the ultimate prize, marriage to Noe Allaire, heir to generations of weaver wealth. The catch, last year, the Vainglory ended in tragedy. The winner died, and the winner was Elliot's sister. The arrangement is simple. If Lovett solves the mystery of Ophelia Lear's death and unmasks her killer, Elliot will ensure she has her pick of weaver suitors regardless of who wins the competition. Yet unraveling Ophelia's murder proves far more complicated than either of them anticipated, and Lovett should know better than to take a weaver at his word. After all, what is love without betrayal? That actually sounds really good. Another gift from an amazing subscriber, A Curse of Shadows and Ice. I think I did just receive word that one of the book boxes is actually doing this as well, but this edition is beautiful. I love this edition. I think this is a fairy tale retelling. Oh, it's Katerina Mora. Her romantasy debut is an enchanting enemies to lovers tale filled with intriguing magic, alchemy, and an irresistible shadow daddy. Interesting. A deliciously seductive Beauty and the Beast retelling about a cursed emperor living in shadows, a kingdom frozen and dying, and the princess who set them all free. So this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And the cute little note that came with this one says, Hi, I love your videos, especially the book hauls and monthly TBRs. Well, here's a book haul for you. I'll dedicate this one to you. This book is in my personal TBR, and if I haven't read it when you start it, I'll start it at the same time. Enjoy. From Kimberly at kimmys.bookshelf on Instagram. That is so sweet. I would love to start this with you. I honestly don't know when that's going to happen, but I would love to. And I will be sure to message you when I'm starting it. We are officially on the last bag of physical books. Whew. Let's finish this up. I picked up Soul Searching by Lila Sage. This was Lila Sage's like paranormal romance debut after Done and Dusted, which is her cowboy romance series. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive, and I think this cover is really intriguing. It says home is where the heart is, and this one is haunted. A small town upholsterer in need of a fresh start, a photographer whose life has come to a screeching halt, and the supernatural forces that bring them together. I have seen some people love this book, and some people say it wasn't for them. Let's see what my opinion is. Yet another book that was simply a cover by is The Once and Future Queen by Paula Lafferty. This edition just grabbed me. I just think it's so beautiful. I know absolutely nothing about it. I've seen nobody talking about it, but I just thought this edition was gorgeous, and I love the color scheme on it and the beautiful naked hardcover. I just think it's so pretty, and I was like, I just need it on my shelves. Everything you know about Camelot is wrong. Magic leaves no trace, which is largely why you've grown up learning about this time as the Dark Ages. Merlin gave her a sidelong glance, and the smile that rose to his lips was one of pride. My dear, you will find it is nothing of the sort. Merlin and Camelot? I've never read anything like that. When Vera learns that she is meant for another time, she leaps at the chance to embrace a new life of valor, intrigue, and unexpected magic in this bold and romantic retelling of Arthurian legend. The Once and Future Queen is an epic adventure about the lengths to which we'll go to protect the ones we love and how magic will always find us when we least expect it. I am definitely interested because I haven't really read anything like this. I know, what's the other one that's an Arthurian retelling that's coming to mind? Legendborn, right? Isn't Legendborn a Knights of the Round Table Arthurian retelling? Don't quote me, but I think it is. I am definitely interested in how I'll think that, like, I don't know much about that time period, so I wonder if I'll still be able to connect to the book because I'm not like a super Knights of the Round Table, Camelot, Merlin, Arthurian person, but I think I know enough to understand the gist of the book. I hope I do. Either way, this will look beautiful on my shelves. I also grabbed The Ordeals by Rachel Greenlaw, another book that I just think is a really pretty cover. There's no sprayed edges or anything, but I just think it's really pretty. Old magic, new power, a contest to die for. The brave and bold are invited to prove their worth in the ordeals. In this lush, atmospheric romantasy, an illusionist competes in a series of deadly trials for a spot at an elite magical college. That is, if another hopeful doesn't kill her first. This whole like deadly games academia theme is very popular right now. I feel like we're getting a lot of deadly games right now. Here's my only concern. I love a good deadly games trope, but I hope I don't get burned out on them. It just seems like everyone is kind of doing them right now. I also grabbed Promised in Blood. This is book 2 after the first one, which is Forged in Blood, I believe, which is the Broken Bloodlines series by Sadie Kincaid. I am very intrigued by this. This has actually been recommended to me before in the comments. People have said that they think that I'd like. I think it's Freckled Fates, and then they always say Broken Bloodlines. So I grabbed them when I saw these gorgeous first editions coming up because I think they're just beautiful and I wanted them on my shelves. Forged in Fire, I think, was featured in another in my last haul. So I don't have it on me. It's actually packed up in storage because it was not damaged in the basement. So I cannot wait to see these two next to each other. I'm not going to read the inside of this one because I haven't read Forged in Blood yet and I don't want to give away anything, but they are really beautiful additions. An ancient prophecy, a betrayal so deep it will echo through eternity. You know I had to pick up Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is book 2 after Bride and I just had to have the Barnes & Noble exclusive. I loved Bride. I ate it up. It's vampires and werewolves, which has me written all over it, and I cannot wait to see where she goes in the second book. A human hybrid and an alpha were claw against the bonds of fate in the highly anticipated companion novel to the New York Times bestselling Bride. I cannot believe I have not already sunk my teeth into this because I loved Bride, so I might have to prioritize this one. Next up, I have The Bond That Burns. This is book number 2 in the Bloodwing Academy series after On Wings of Blood. I think the first one is called. I wanted this one to match my special editions as well. The other one has the exact same kind of like edges, which I think they're scales, I'm pretty sure. And I am absolutely obsessed with this character art. I mean, this is kind of a little strange that they took up all this negative space, but look at that pages. So pretty, so pretty. I feel like they could have done more with this side, right? But that's just me. Thank you. He is already getting too big to hold. He is so huge. Look at these paws. And he also has the one ear that isn't standing up yet. He is I think I said this already, he is a German Shepherd. Okay, we've stayed still enough. Go. He is already getting too big to hold and he cannot stay still to save his life. He is on the move. What are you doing, biggies? Get the Forbidden Snowman. So there was a little snowman stuffed animal that was actually my kid's snowman stuffed animal, but my husband didn't know that. He thought it was a dog toy. So he threw it down on the ground and Isaac got it. And Isaac got it. And now I was like, well, we can't take it from him. Like that would be confusing. So now it's his and we call it the Forbidden Snowman. Do you have the Forbidden Snowman? You and your floppy toppies. His little ears, we call him his floppy toppy. So I am not going to read the inside cover of this because I have not read the first one yet, but I think it's like a dragon academy. At Bloodwing Academy, blood is currency, but a dragon's legacy is priceless and as dangerous as fire. That's all I'm going to read. I know that On Wings of Blood has a cult following. People love it, so I'm hoping this one is just as good. Next up, I grabbed Fallen City by Adrienne Young. Adrienne Young has done so many books that have intrigued me. She seems like a fairly prolific writer. I think she did Sate. And what was the other one she did? Did she do The Unmaking of June Farrow? She did do The Unmaking of June Farrow. And Spells for Forgetting and A Sea of Unspoken Things. She did do Fable. So she has quite a few very popular books. This is the first edition. Sprayed edges. Really pretty. I do really love this cover too. And look at this character art. How pretty is that? With the naked hardcover embossed as well. Very pretty. I knew this pain, the fractured remnants of the broken thing buried like a knife in my chest. There were times when I could still feel Luca's hands on my face, when I could still taste his tears as I'd kissed him for the last time. That pain was the reason for everything. In the great walled city of Isara, political turmoil ignites a rebellion 100 years in the making. But when a legionnaire falls in love with a magistrate's daughter, their love will threaten the fate of the city and the will of the gods. That sounds excellent. I love a good like enemies to lover, fate of the gods type story. It usually hits for me, so hopefully this is a hit. Next up, I grabbed Taurus Season by Brynne Weaver. I got it mostly because I thought this edition was just so cool. I just think these sprayed edges are really funny. And I love the colors of the cover, the purple and the green. And then look at this artwork on the inside. This map is just so cute. I just love the colors with the embossed hardcover as well. So Bryn Weaver wrote the Butcher and Blackbird series, like Leather and Lark, Scythe and Sparrow, those books. I read Butcher and Blackbird. It was okay. It wasn't my absolute favorite, but I did think it was pretty good. It was a little gross for my tastes, but you know, maybe this one will hit better. It says it's a wickedly delicious new series where dark romantic comedy meets thrilling suspense and where falling in love can be a killer. Welcome to Cape Carnage. Visit once, stay forever. It's a darkly funny, slow burn, enemies to lovers romance where destruction and desire are balanced on the edge of a blade and where love is the most dangerous battlefield of all. Hilarious, hot, and maniacally memorable. Full of heart twists and tender moments. Only Bryn Weaver can weave murder and romance to a blood-curdling pitch. Grab your cookies and dig in for a chipper good time. It is the next morning. I ended up just getting totally sidetracked yesterday. I had to do dinner. I had to do mom stuff. So I figured, you know what? We will just pick this up the next morning. And I think that actually served me because I don't sound great, but I think my voice is a little bit better this morning than it was yesterday. And a warm coffee is certainly helping. P.S. I found this at Target yesterday. This is the new Stanley special edition, the Valentine's Day one. How cute is that? I have kind of told myself I'm gonna like pare down on how many Stanleys I'm buying because I have so many of them. I have way more Stanleys than there are days of the week, and that's unnecessary, but this was a must because last year I saw the Valentine's Day special edition one and thought, I don't need another Stanley, and I left it, and then I could never find it again, and I kicked myself. I was like, I should have grabbed it when I saw it, and I like this one a lot better, so I'm okay with that. But let's get back into the haul and see if we can't finish this up. Our puppy is on a reign of terror right now in our house, and my son just took him out to run around so that he could kind of like exhaust him, but he'll probably be coming in the next few minutes and I'll probably be distracted again. So let's see how many books we can get through before I'm re-distracted. So I don't think I ever ended up finishing giving you the full synopsis for Taurus season by Bryn Weaver. So it says, in Taurus season, a gardener with killer instincts protects her town from troublesome tourists while falling for a revenge-seeking visitor. A spicy, darkly humorous romance with serial killer elements. It says, dark romantic comedy meets thrilling suspense and where falling in love can be a killer. And I think the town is called Cape Carnage, which is where this really cool map on the inside is of. Like, this is the map of Cape Carnage, and something about that is just so cool to me. I also picked up A Kiss of Hammer and Flame by Amy de la Force. This is book 1 in the Fated for Hail series, and this is the really pretty first edition with the sprayed edges. I don't think there's anything really on the inside. Yeah, kind of boring end papers, to be honest with you, but something about this cover kind of drew me to it. Like the really pretty dagger right down the center and the cool font and the foiling on this front, I think just kind of grabbed me. It says, a prophecy ignited and a mortal awakened from the slums, from the ashes, a queen will rise. An immortal bound in darkness, a shattered empire at war, and a blacksmith whose heart can tip the scales of fate. A blacksmith forges a sword that awakens Hale, an immortal being. As kingdoms war over his power, she must protect him while navigating romance and magic. It says it's a sizzling, action-packed romantasy, perfect for fans of the Northwind, Throne of Glass, and the Book of Azrael. It is an adult romantasy, love triangle, physically strong female lead, slow burn, forbidden love, Hades and Persephone. Okay, so a Hades and Persephone retelling. Who hurt you? Fated mates, age gap, and then it says just a couple hundred years. Found family. Wow, that's actually really cool sounding. A brand new release that I actually picked up yesterday because it was the last one on the shelves and I had FOMO, I had to get it, is Rings of Fate by Melissa de la Cruz. Like I said, this just released in the last couple of days, and I think this first edition with the sprayed edges is so pretty. It is really beautiful, and it has really cool artwork on the inside as well. I don't think there's, oh, there is a foiled naked hardcover. That's really cool. And on the back, it says, not your average fairy tale. She's a barmaid who doesn't believe in fairy tales. He's a prince cursed to live one. A barmaid and a cursed prince must work together to unravel ancient magic when she accidentally becomes bound to his deadly fate rings. There's a blurb here by Lauren Oliver, who wrote the Delirium trilogy, and it says, if sarcasm were a sword, Aaron Bellamore would rule the world. Delightfully sharp, emotionally rich, and a damn good time. If you know anything about me as a reader, I love really good, witty banter, so I'm hoping this will kind of deliver on that. On the same shopping trip, I actually went into the store looking for this next book because it is a current month, like a January book of the month pick, and it sounded really, really good, but I didn't necessarily need like the book of the month hardcover. I just said I'll go grab it in paperback. And that is Most Eligible by Isabel Engel. This is, like I said, the romance pick for book of the month for January, and I read the synopsis when they released the books, and it sounded so good. So I specifically went into the store looking for this one because when a romance intrigues me, like all romantasy intrigue me. I hear a synopsis for a romantasy and I'm like, I could read that. But contemporary romances sometimes sound like same for me. And this one definitely intrigued me. It says sizzles with drama and intrigue on every page. And it says The Bachelor meets Funny You Should Ask in this laugh out loud rom-com debut about a journalist who goes on a reality TV show only to find her country music star one-night stand is the host. A journalist joins a reality show called Love Shack to write an expose, but her plans unravel when her one-night stand country singer Rhett Auburn becomes the host. Like I've said before, I give debut authors and their debut book a lot of grace, so we'll see what happens, but I'm really intrigued by that premise. I also scooped up another arc called Her Hidden Fire by, oh boy, how do you pronounce this? Is this Irish or Scottish? And I do not want to butcher this. Let's look this up. How do you pronounce this? Because I will absolutely butcher this name. Okay, so I've confirmed it is Irish, and let's see how you pronounce this.
Cleaner. Very straightforward once you know. Cleaner.
Okay, so it says, pronounce it like Kleena, so Kleena. Sometimes Cleona, depending, but we're gonna go with Kleena on this one. So pretty. Okay, so Her Hidden Fire by Kleena O'Sullivan, which I believe is Irish. Basically, I saw this cover and I saw the dragons on it and I was like, ooh, yes. And it says, her magic, his love, the world won't let her have both. In a world where magical abilities are an elite privilege, a servant girl discovers her rare powers and risks everything to protect the heir she loves. This is a middle grade-ish. It says for 12 years and up, and it says perfect for fans of Powerless, Lightlark, and Red Queen. This heart-pounding romantasy forces a girl to make an impossible decision. Watch the boy she loves gets exiled for lack of magic or pass her formidable powers off as his own. I, of course, had to grab An Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. I have not read a ton of Stephanie Garber. I did read the first Caraval. I thought it was okay, but I really did love her writing, and I know that Caraval was a book she wrote a very long time ago. I want to get into the Broken Heart, whatever that trilogy is, but this one is her first foray into full adult, and I am so intrigued to see what she does with that. Because like I said, I really do like her writing. So this is the Barnes & Noble Special Edition with the sprayed edges and the naked hardcover that I really love as well. It says Folklore 517, Hollywood Forever Cemetery on it. It starts with a class in an old movie theater. Folklore 517, local legends and urban myths taught by a woman called the Professor. Most students believe the Professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named the Watchman, who can supposedly tell you when you'll die, the world finally makes sense, except that the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow unless she finds an ancient object called the alchemical heart. With the clock ticking, Holland is pulled deeper into this magical world in the heart of Los Angeles and into the path of a magnetic stranger. Everything about him feels like a bad idea, but she promises Holland that her sister sent him to protect her. As they chase clues and stories that take them closer to the alchemical heart, Holland realizes everyone in this intoxicating new world is lying to her, even the stranger, and if she can't figure out whom to trust, not even the alchemical heart will save her. Interesting. That sounds really good. Another like middle grade YA, this one says for ages like 14 to 17, so I guess like middle grade. First edition that I picked up is Blood Moon by Brittany S. Lewis. I loved the edges on this as well. And one thing you'll learn about me is a good sprayed edge, like special edition design will get me every time. I just think they're so cool. And I always am afraid that if I wait too long, I'll miss it. This says a college freshman investigates campus animal attacks linked to her mother's disappearance, discovering supernatural secrets and developing feelings for a mysterious boy as the blood moon rises. I don't know if I know anything else that this author does. Okay, and there is a second book planned for this series. So it's at least a duology. The next one will be called Bloodlust, and it's not even supposed to release until September. Another book I grabbed that I'm so intrigued by, because I've seen very positive things overall, but also some people saying that they just couldn't connect to it, is The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. I love this really pretty edition. It's very simple, but I think this cover is so beautiful. There's something about the colors on this one that I really love, with that gold foiling. And there's also an eye on the hilt of the sword. I don't know if you can see it, but for some reason when I saw that, that just intrigued me. There's also a very cool map on the inside of the end papers. It says, equal parts Arthurian send-up and time-traveling tragic romance. I was utterly trapped in its pages, and now it's free, already long to return. Here comes the puppy. He is going to very noisily drink water because he was just a bad boy outside. He didn't listen to his brother, so yeah. Is being bad exhausting? What? Is being bad so tiring? Come here, let's see if we can actually hang out for a minute. Probably not. Is being bad just the most exhausting thing? I know you're getting too big for me to hold you already. And being bad is just so tiring. I know being our little rebel boy is just so sleepy exhausting. I know. I know. Okay, bye. Ow. Scratch the shit out of my neck. Do you see this? That is mud from his paws. Oh, I asked for that one. He also scratched my neck. Awesome. Great. Okay. Whatever. That's a problem for after this, but oh my God. Well, that's what I get for trying to love on him, because he's savage. He's feral and wild, and that's what I get for trying to love him. Don't mind that. It'll go away in a minute. My skin just gets really red, so. A time-traveling historian falls in love with the legend of Sir Una Everlasting and travels to the past to ensure her heroic story unfolds, despite knowing its tragic end. A moving and genre-defying quest about a lady knight whose legend built a nation, and the cowardly historian sent back through time to make sure she plays her part even if it breaks his heart. I'm like a little bit nervous about the whole like time traveling thing. I haven't had a ton of luck with time travel books. It's not like my favorite trope, I guess, in a story, but we're gonna give it a try. Apparently being a bad boy outside is exhausting because he is laid down and he's trying to go to sleep. So let's see what happens. I actually picked up 2 versions of this next book, and you'll understand why. So I first went into Barnes & Noble the day it released, and I picked up Brimstone by Callie Hart because I just love these editions, and I have the Quicksilver Book 1 special editions with the metallic silver edges, so I wanted to make sure I got Brimstone that matched it, and I think this is absolutely beautiful. And I love the cover art on the front and the back covers. Look at that little guy. I just love him. But then literally 2 days after I bought this, I went into Target with my aunt, and I was walking just like past the book aisle. I had told myself, I'm not gonna look, I'm not gonna buy any books, but I was walking past it, and imagine my surprise on the end cap when I saw this. Look at the Target special edition of Brimstone. And then look at the sprayed edges. Are you serious right now? I was like, what? And it has the ribbon bookmark on it. This is the Target exclusive. I actually haven't even looked. It's the same end paper art, so I actually haven't even looked at that yet, but look at the foiled naked hardcover. This was just like a non-negotiable. It had to come home with me. And I looked at my Aunt Martha and I said, I already bought this book like 2 days ago, but like, how am I supposed to just like walk away from this? That's diabolical. So I do now have 2 editions of Brimstone, and I think this was like a really solid decision. So I did read Quicksilver in December, loved it, thought it had a little bit of everything for everyone. The pacing was a little bit oftentimes, so I think I just gave it a 4-star, like, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. Maybe like a 4.25, because I did like the characters, I did like the story, and I did like how many elements that was squeezed into this book. Like, I really feel like there's something for everyone in here, but the pacing just needs a little bit of a tweaking. I'm excited to see if that was done in Brimstone, and I know that Callie Hart actually has another book, I think it's called Blood and Roses, coming out this year as well, that I'm very intrigued about. And I'm pretty sure, I could definitely be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this one is going straight to paperback. So yeah, but I am very excited to read this. I'm actually kind of shocked that I haven't jumped right into it, because Quicksilver was really, really good. second to last on our physical editions. I also picked up Beyond the Veil. This is book 8.5 in the Zodiac Academy series. It's so funny because like on most series, like when they do the 0.5s, that implies like a little novella, but this thing is over almost 600 page novella. Because if you don't know anything about the Zodiac Academy, these books get chunky towards the end. Like they get progressively bigger as you go. So this is the Twisted Sisters version of a novella, 600 pages. That's a novella. Because this is book 8.5, I'm obviously not going to say anything about it, but Zodiac Academy is like a very, very interesting world about twin sisters who find out they're fae and are sent to take over their rightful place as heirs at this Zodiac Academy, but it is a bully romance. Know that right up front, because I can't tell you how many people I have heard criticize Zodiac Academy being like, oh my god, the guys are mean. It's a bully romance, guys. Know what you're supposed to be getting when you go into it, or don't criticize it. Is the writing the most stunning thing you'll ever see? No, but is it entertaining as all hell? Yes. And I love these really pretty floppy paperbacks, so I've been collecting the entire series in this format. And last but not least, another book that I own the indie version of, but I of course had to pick up the beautiful traditional published edition, is For Whom the Bell Tolls by J.C. Lynn. I saw this up on the shelves and I was like, yeah, another one where how am I supposed to walk away from this? And then check out these gorgeous end papers. Look at that. And if you look at her desk, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but it says FAFO. So funny. Help desk, FAFO. It's really funny. And then it has this gorgeous embossed naked hardcover, and it says, Together They Walked Toward Hell. And then here are the gorgeous end papers on the back side as well. I think that's so cute. I've actually heard really great things about this book, but I don't know much about it. It says they told her to go to hell. She went, but on her own terms. In this fantasy romance, Lily finds unexpected love while working with demons in hell. When she meets Belle, their friendship blossoms as they confront a threat to their world. A hotter-than-hell romantasy about a young woman who finds a different side of the afterlife. Those were all of the physical books that I've picked up in the last few months, probably since like October, but I've also received a couple of special editions from my special edition subscription services, so let's jump right into those. So admittedly, I'm not a member of as many subscription services as I once was. These subscription services can get really pricey. You can end up spending a small fortune per month on these subscription services, but also I was becoming a little bit disillusioned with like not only the books that they were choosing, but also I felt that the designs on some of them were getting a little lazy. Like you would get this drop dead gorgeous design and then for like 4 months you'd be unimpressed, or it would be like a recolored cover. Meaning the cover was the exact same, except if you bought it at Barnes & Noble, it was blue. And then the subscription service would send you their special edition. And it would be like, it's purple, but the same art. And I'm just sorry, for a recolored cover, I just don't want to spend that kind of money. Like I could go and get it cheaper and I'm okay with the Barnes & Noble special edition. So why pay the extra money, you know? So the designs got lazy. I didn't like the books they were picking. So I did cancel literally like 85% of my subscription services because it's like, why spend money for something you're not totally in love with? But I have kept 2. So let me show you what they've sent me since October. So first up, I did keep the Fairy Loot Romantasy subscription, and I believe this was October's pick. I could be wrong. Don't quote me because like, what is time? It's been a blur the last couple of months, but in the last few months, they sent me Savage Blooms by S.T. Gibson. I'm obsessed with this edition. This is what I'm talking about. When you're paying premium amounts of money to get special editions of books, I want them to look like this, like works of art, like nothing you will see in another store. I want this to sit on my shelf and have people be like, what is that? And where did you get it? I've never seen anything like it. And this is a classic example of just a beautiful, completely different, like this is the traditionally published cover on this book, okay? They look nothing alike. This is a total redesign. This is a piece of art that came from the artist's mind. I mean, this is too, but I'm saying this for the special edition, as opposed to if they did this cover, but they were like, surprise, the flowers are purple. And you're like, really? So anyways, so I really love this edition. I think Fairy Loot does a pretty good job, to be completely honest with you, on the editions. Look at these gorgeous sprayed edges. I hope it like zeroes in on it. Can you see? I hope it did. Can you see the little house right here? I just think that's so pretty. It has the character artwork with the foiling on the inside cover and then this on the back cover. But that's not even the real showstopper. For me, the real showstopper is the naked hardcover. This is the naked hardcover of this book. A digitally printed naked hardcover. I don't know what the deal is with this house in this story, but there seems to be like little houses everywhere. I'm really intrigued, and this is just absolutely gorgeous. Knowing that if I were to read this edition, I would take this off and this would be what I would see every day. Beautiful. And just of note, they also do put the traditional published version on the inside. It's like a reverse dust jacket. So if for whatever reason you did want like the traditional cover, you could flip this around. I never have. I don't want to because I'm afraid I'll crease it wrong, but you certainly could. Listen to this description. Wuthering Heights, which by the way, I don't know if you know this about me, but I have Wuthering Heights tattooed on my rib cage. I love Wuthering Heights. I have arrows with my husband and my son's birthstone watercolors on my ribs. And then in literary font, it says, whatever souls are made of, his and mine are the same for all of my boys. So I have Wuthering Heights tattooed on my ribs. I love Wuthering Heights. So it says Wuthering Heights meets the Cruel Prince. What? In the new Celtic-inspired erotic fantasy romance from Sunday Times bestseller S.T. Gibson, obviously the author of Dowry of Blood, which was very popular. In this Celtic-inspired erotic fantasy, Adam and Nicola become entangled in a web of fairy magic and forbidden desire when they're trapped in a Highland manor, which with its mysterious owners. That explains the house. Okay, so they're trapped in a Highland manor set in the foreboding highlands of Scotland. This sounds amazing. I'm going to do everything in my power to prioritize this because first of all, it's stunning. Second of all, it sounds amazing. Another Fairy Loot Romantasy pick over the months that I've heard amazing things about from people on BookTube, To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. I have seen people absolutely loving this book. I've seen many 5 and 6 star reviews of this book, and I think this edition is so pretty. It has like the floral end pages. I do think they missed just like a little bit of an opportunity to put like feathers somewhere. I mean, there is this bird on the front, but don't you think it would have been cool if they had like integrated some feather design in here with the floral? The floral feels like a tiny bit of a cop-out to me. Like for me, when you don't have like an original idea, just slap some flowers on the edges. If the book isn't like Savage Blooms, where it literally sounds like it's going to incorporate some nature in it, To Cage a Wild Bird, they could have done feathers, they could have done birds, they could have even done like a design that made it look like a bird cage, like something like that. This is what I'm talking about. Just sometimes it's a little uninspired, but the rest of the book is absolutely gorgeous. And the character artwork is very pretty as well on the inside with the reverse dust jacket as well. Here's the artwork on the back pages. And are you ready for this digital cover? This is the naked hardcover of this book. How gorgeous is this? It is so beautiful. Look at this like prison yard and our characters. Oh, so beautiful. I'm going to be honest, I'm not trying to be hypercritical. I will sacrifice like some inspiration on the sprayed edges if I get a digital hardcover like that. Like basically my thinking is that they probably said, hey, we could either do a gorgeous full art digital printed hardcover or really intricate sprayed edges. And I think they made a good call on that if they had to choose one or the other, because at the end of the day, that hardcover, beautiful. It says, a deadly prison, a forbidden romance, a fight for survival. In the city of Davidian, the law is simple. Commit a crime and your punishment is a life sentence in Endlock. Raven Thorn is Davidian's most notorious bounty hunter, living on the edge of society. But when her younger brother Jed is sentenced to Endlock, Raven will do anything to save him, even if it means getting herself arrested. Trapped in a prison where danger lurks around every corner, Raven must use all her cunning and strength to protect Jed and herself, if she is to complete her perilous mission. But there's one obstacle she never expected. The prison guard who stirs something deep inside her, the man she should hate, the man whose true motives seem impossible to pin down. In a world where trust is a weapon and love is a liability, Raven can't afford for her heart to get involved. Like I said, I've heard amazing things about this. And now, full warning that I'm about to spoil this month's Fairy Loot Romantasy pick if yours hasn't come in. So go ahead and just fast forward to this mark right here if you haven't received your Fairy Loot Romantasy and you want it to be a surprise, because I'm about to show December's Fairy Loot Romantasy box. You've been warned. All right, 1, 2, 3. This is We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark. This is the Fairy Loot edition from this past month's. I'm obsessed. Like, You will never find another book that looks like this. This is absolutely stunning. This is probably one of my favorite editions that they've sent of late. I'm obsessed. How beautiful. I love the characters on the front with the foiling. Gorgeous. Before it says, kneel before the god of ruin. I don't even think I've looked at these character endworks. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that artwork. Wow. I love the stars embossed right there. Beautiful. Here is the artwork on the back as well. And I don't even think I've taken this cover off yet, so we're going to be seeing this naked hardcover together right now. I'm trying not to look. Oh. Oh. God, it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful. I'm sorry. I think Fairy Loot does some of the most beautiful books in the game. Like, this is art. This is one of the prettiest editions I've received. This is just, everything is so cohesive and beautiful. God, I can't wait to read this. This is the kind of stuff that makes me excited about reading. This is the kind of stuff that just makes my heart, I'm so privileged and honored to have this in my collection. Enough about that. Ruled by their vampiric empire. Oh, it's vampires. It's vampires too. Oh my gosh. Life in the perilous Thorn District is a constant battle for Arvel and her family. So when offered a chance to save her brother's life, she takes a magical vow. It will bind her to do the impossible, kill the Emperor. But to get close to him, she must enter the Sundering, an arena where only the fastest, strongest, and deadliest survive long enough to be selected for the Emperor's elite guard. Deadly games. As the stakes get higher and secrets emerge, she quickly draws the ire of the Primus, a powerful figure charged with protecting the Emperor, while also finding herself dependent on the Emperor's sadistic son Rorik to hone her growing powers. With Arvel's destiny deeply entwined with these two vampires, she must unravel a conspiracy that will change everything she thought she knew about herself, but only if she can complete her mission and survive the arena. I have no words. I have no words. I'm sorry, but as far as special editions, I honestly think that the Fairy Loot Romantasy box is probably the best in the game. Now, as far as the other subscription box service I kept Page and Wick. This is actually kind of like I think a lesser known subscription service, and just like Fairy Loot, they're based over in the UK. I just think they're really cool. So it's bi-monthly. It's more expensive, but it only ships every 2 months. So kind of, it helps a little bit. And they actually pair a romantasy book with a curated candle that they create that they think is supposed to like evoke the story. So they read the book and they come up with a signature scent that they make into a candle that goes along with the book. And there is something about reading the book and burning the candle and smelling like what they've interpreted your character smells in that world that just makes a sensory experience that I really, really love. And I'm a candle lover. I constantly have a candle going in my house. My son actually is a huge candle lover too. So there's always a candle going in his room, and he's always stealing my candles. He just stole one of mine. In fact, I think the one that's burning on his desk currently, he stole from me. But there's something about that added sensory experience that I really, really love. And also, I think they have done some of the prettiest special editions in the game. So let me show you the last 2 Page and Wick boxes. So full disclosure, just to make sure I'm telling the full story, Page and Wick is a brand new subscription box company, and they're very small. So they're still working out the kinks in their system, and they actually did have a problem with the printer and they got a little bit behind. So there was a little bit of a delay. I just received my 2 boxes pretty much within like a week and a half of each other, but that's okay. I'm not hating on them. They were in like very, very efficient communication with us the entire time. So it's not like we were ever wondering really what was going on, but it did take a little while to get these 2 boxes. So the first book I received was Secrets of the Dead by Laura Carter. This edition is so pretty. Look at those sprayed edges. Really, really beautiful on both the front and the back. Gorgeous. What does it say? A woman raises her voice when she's not being listened to. A man raises his voice when he is not being obeyed. I like that like gender power dynamic. So interesting. Here is the artwork on the inside cover. A little dark, a little bit dark. I think they could have made this a little bit more vibrant if I'm being a little picky, a little monotone. And then the gorgeous embossed naked hardcover. I do like what it looks like without the dust jacket on it. Really pretty. A princess dealing with the trauma of her past, an assassin who rules the kingdom underworld, a disgraced woman banished by her family, the grandson of a usurper. When explosion kills all the royal families in the kingdom of Novicia, 4 unlikely heirs are forced to take their parents' place. Naive and inexperienced, the rulers must not only learn to lead their realms but grapple with their newly heightened powers. To uncover the mystery of their families' deaths, the 4 must come together to uncover the truth. But as secrets are revealed and a prophecy predicts one of them will destroy the kingdom, no one can be trusted, not even the dead. I may admittedly have gotten these 2 candles mixed up, but I don't think I did. I think the one that went along with Secrets of the Dead is A Soul So Sweet. It's really pretty. Ooh, it's like kind of like fresh cut grass with like a little bit of a floral undertone, but actually smells very wintry as well. Like, yeah, maybe like wintry fresh cut grass. I know that doesn't make any sense, but that's what it's coming up for me, which actually makes sense for Secrets of the Dead because it's a very blue wintry vibe to it. And then the next page in Wick Book was a book I was very excited about because this is a very anticipated read for me, and that is Vessalus by Courtney L. Wynn. I have wanted to read this book. I actually have the like indie special edition in my cart, but now that I got the special edition, I don't even really think I'll need it. Knowledge is an addiction, and books are my drug of choice. Is this a bookish book? I love bookish books. I'm like intrigued as to what this like snake that seems to be on every cover is gonna have to do with books, but I just think that this is a gorgeous edition and it has these beautiful sprayed edges. This is a gorgeous design to me with the rings, and it makes me wonder like how it incorporates into the story. Here is the character artwork. I don't want to open it too much because I've actually never cracked this book open, but here is the character artwork on the inside. And the beautiful embossed naked hardcover. I love this color. I think this like mauve-y pink is very pretty. Gorgeous. When Nazara, reluctant heir to the kingdom of Zar, enters a deadly tournament to escape her betrothal, she's determined to win without taking a life of succumbing to the addictive spirit magic she channels. But finding herself outmatched, Nazara must team up with Dagon, an enemy who is half ghost and all charm, to survive the tournament. Dagon, the last king of Zar, was killed by Nazara's father. Interesting. Now he's able to phase between his human and spirit form, but is stuck in another realm hunting wretched souls. When his keeper offers him a chance to reclaim his freedom in exchange for Nazara's soul, Dagon takes the deal. There's only one catch. She must freely give it to him by the tournament's end, or his own soul is forfeit. Another Deadly Games. And then I'm pretty sure the candle that they sent along with that one is Vala. So it looks like that. They all kind of look the same. What does it smell like? Ooh, this one's a little bit more cologne-y. Oh, it's kind of giving like Axe body spray. This one's really strong. Like musky, maybe cedarwood. I wonder if they give the notes of these candles anywhere. Let me look. Okay, so they do have the notes listed for past boxes on the Page and Wick website, but I think because these are the 2 newest boxes, they haven't updated the website yet, but they are very pretty. I will say Vala is a little cologne-y for me. It's just not my typical scent, but if you like a super strong cologne scent, this would probably be for you. I think I'm preferring the fresh scent of A Soul So Sweet. They had one, I cannot remember what it was, but they had one that was like a bonfire scent that I absolutely loved. Don't quote me. I think it came with, was it Babylon for like the burning of Rome? And it was so good. That's my favorite one I've gotten so far, but I do burn every single one of these. Okay, I gotta be honest with you. I didn't conceptualize how many books I actually purchased in this haul. I didn't think it was gonna be this many, and I've kind of talked my throat a little bit raw. So I don't think I'm going to discuss a ton of Kindle books in this one. If you do not know, I'm going to give you my disclaimer again. If you are a Kindle owner and you are not checking your Kindle daily specials, and if you are not making a list called Books I Want to Read and then Kindle Unlimited Books, adding books to it and then checking it every day, sorting it price low to high to see what are on special that day, you are doing Kindle stupid. Just letting you know, you're Kindle stupid. You need to be checking your daily specials because I don't think I've paid over $2.99 for a Kindle book. God, actually that's not true. I recently did. Recently Alchemized came out, and this is a book that is 1,000 pages and the hardcover weighs like 5 pounds. I cannot guarantee that I'm going to always be in a position where I want to hold a 5-page, 1,000-pound hardcover. So this was one that I really did want to prioritize getting on Kindle, and it's like $17.99 or something on Kindle. That's ridiculous. I'm never going to pay for that. However, one day I was flipping through the daily specials, and this went on sale for like $5.99. Was it $5.99 or $6.99? One of those, under $7, let's say that. And I did pull the trigger on that one because I think that was a really good deal. $10 or more off. So I did recently pay $6 or $7 for Alchemized, but that's a great deal for this length of book and just for the convenience of reading it when it does. But besides for that one, I've gotten to the point now where I'm so spoiled by Kindle specials that a $4 or $5 Kindle book seems like ridiculous amounts of money to me. So if you are not checking once or twice a day, I usually do it. I wake up in the morning, I make my coffee, I sit down, I take the first 5 or 6 sips while I browse on my iPad or my computer, my daily specials, and I figure out what I want. And then I usually check once more while I'm sitting down with a soda before bed, and just kind of getting my brain kind of settled down before bed, because every once in a while, they usually go live in the morning, but every once in a while, like randomly in the afternoon, another special goes live that wasn't there in the morning. So I just check once in the morning and once at night, and I get basically all of my Kindle books for under $3. And they're not like obscure, they're like new releases. So are there days where I will randomly not purchase any, like none of the sales really appeal to me? For sure, there definitely are. But I think I purchase an average of like 2 or 3 Kindle books a day. So there's no possible way that I'm going to sit here and go over the last several months of Kindle purchases with you, but let me just point out a couple of the ones I'm really excited about. Also, another thing I'm realizing I do is I buy duplicates. So like some of these books that I just discussed that I own physically, if they go on sale for 99 cents on Kindle, I'll buy them just in case I'm like in a position where I'm reading them and holding the hardcover or the paperback at home is fine. But if I'm going out with my kids to practice, or if I forget it somewhere, I always have my Kindle in my purse. So if I randomly find myself in this unpredictable position where I have a little bit of time to read, but I didn't bring my hardcover out with me, I have my Kindle and it's on there, and that's worth the 99-cent investment for me, you know? So I do also buy a lot of Kindle duplicates. So I did pick up Made for Each Other by Lynn Painter yesterday. It went on sale for $1.99, and today it's back to regular price, which is $10.99. So that's what I'm talking about. I just picked this one up, and it says a house cleaner temporarily stays in her client's penthouse and gets mistaken for his girlfriend. They strike a fake dating deal that blurs the lines between business and pleasure. A very popular book right now that is a newer release, I do own physically. I grabbed The Irresistible Urge to Fall in Love with Your Enemy when it went on sale for $1.99 one day, because this is a classic example of what I was saying before. I might not be in a position where I want to carry around this honker of a hardcover all the time, and for like $2, I could pick it up on my Kindle and switch mediums if I need to. A scholarly healer and a gentleman assassin are forced to collaborate, leading to a slow burn romance filled with witty banter and a touch of murder. A book that I've been watching for a while because I was intrigued by it, but I wasn't going to pay regular price, is The Nightblood Prince by Molly X. Chang, and it did go on sale for $1.99 one day. Right now, it's back to its current price, which is also $10.99, so I scooped it up because I'm like not entirely sure I'll love it, and for the $1.99, it's worth the gamble for me. It says a prophesied empress must choose between 2 princes while navigating destiny, magic, and vampires in a world where her choice could spark a war. Okay, a book that I've heard so much about, but I am 100% not positive if I will ever read it, is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. I have heard so much about this book. I have heard that this book is a contender for one of the saddest books of all time ever written, and it is so long. It is 833 pages. I never want to own a physical copy of this book. Something that huge in this genre, even if I love it, I'm okay with only reading it on my Kindle, especially because I'm not sure this isn't going to be my cup of tea. It is regular price right now for $11.99, but I picked it up for $1.99 one day. 4 college friends navigate life in New York centered around Jude, a brilliant but traumatized lawyer whose childhood scars threaten to define his existence. This was shortlisted for the Booker Prize, but like I said, I've heard this is trauma. I'm scrolling through my purchases. I buy a lot of like indie, even sometimes ones that are Kindle Unlimited, but they'll go on sale for like 99 cents, and just not to take up a space in my Kindle Unlimited library, I just grab them. So I'm like scrolling through the books I've purchased, and a lot of these are like Omegaverse indie books and stuff like that. So watch your specials, because these are books I would never even know really existed. Another book I've been hearing a ton about, and it's been getting 5 stars left and right, is The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff, or Damoff. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Sarah Damoff, I think. Sarah Caroli recently gave this, I think, her favorite book of the year. And then Destiny Sidwell actually said it was very good as well. And this went on sale for $2.99, I think, one day. And it's $14.99 right now. So once again, a 6-star, beloved, newer edition for $2. Watch your specials. A family saga about how Ryan and Lillian Bright's marriage faces hidden secrets, his alcoholism, and her secret son as their daughter Georgette comes of age. So I think this is like a character family study. If you've been following my Zodiac Academy journey, you will know that I am reading the Twisted Sisters suggested reading order. So I read books 1, 2, and 3 in the Zodiac Academy, The Awakening, Ruthless Fae, and then The Reckoning. And now I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to go into Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac book 1, which is Dark Fae. And I recently grabbed this for $1.99 No, I think it was 99 cents actually. I think this one was 99 cents when it went on a Kindle special one day. A vampire seeks vengeance against one of 4 powerful Fae kings for murdering her brother, risking heart, body, and soul in a dark, steamy romance. This is Kindle Unlimited, but once again, it won't take up a spot in my KU library. I have been so intrigued by Dolly Alderton as a writer, but it's not exactly my typical genre and my typical subject matter. So I don't necessarily know that I want to own everything that she writes taking up a spot on my shelves physically. But when I see her books go on sale, I do grab them. And Ghosts by Dolly Alderton recently went on sale for $1. It says Nina Dean navigates her 30s between fading friendships, her father's memory loss, and meeting Max, who declares marriage intentions on their first date. A smart, sexy, laugh-out-loud romantic comedy about ex-boyfriends, imperfect parents, friends with kids, and a man who disappears the moment he says, I love you. Like I said, I am intrigued by her writing, but if I don't like it, I'm okay that I wasted $1 and didn't take up a space on my shelves. I also grabbed 7 Summers by Page 2 one day when it went on Kindle special. I don't remember how much this was, but it's $11.99 right now, and I don't think I paid more than $2 for it. Liv and Finn's annual summer romance faces upheaval when Liv falls for newcomer Tom, forcing her to confront a heart-wrenching decision. Little love triangle action. Oh, one day an entire trilogy that I've been watching went on sale. So I did grab Fight, Protect, Honor. I'm not sure which one comes up first. I just have it like randomly in this list, but I'll label them on the screen. This is the full Sky Ridge Hot Shots trilogy, and it all went on sale for like 99 cents a piece. Book 1 is Fight, Book 2 is Protect, Book 3 is Honor. So they'll be in order here. I think these are all firefighter romances, like all of these men work together at a local fire station. I'm assuming in Sky Ridge. But I absolutely love these covers, which is weird because I typically don't like people covers, but I think these are really pretty. My voice is starting to get really rough. We might have to wrap this up. I also grabbed, I think it's just Wolf, or is this Wolfie? I don't know. I grabbed Wolf by Paisley Hope. This is book 1 in the Soldiers of Bedlam series, and it says Gabriel Wolf, a dark MC club president, so this is like motorcycle mafia, finds his violent world turned upside down when an unexpected woman catches his attention. I think this is very, very spicy. Arguably one of the prettiest covers I've seen in a really long time, I grabbed A Kingdom of Shadow and Ash by J.F. Johns when it went on sale for 99 cents one day. This is book 1 in the Kingdoms of the Gods trilogy, and it says it's a spicy fantasy romance featuring Mal Blackburn, who must marry and kill the cruel fire prince to break a curse while navigating court intrigue and witch revenge in a dragon-filled land. In one sentence, they just hit all of my favorite subject matter. I also grabbed a ton of Monster Smut. Are you shocked? So I'm just scrolling through Monster Smut. Oh my gosh, this next book, I want to talk about this really quick because someone literally months and months and months and months ago in the comment section of one of my videos recommended this book, and I added it to my books I want to read list. But I'm going to be honest with you, it's a sci-fi, and that is not my favorite genre. In fact, most sci-fis I've read I've not really been into, so I wasn't going to pay full price for it because I think it's like $15 full price. Not gonna happen. Absolutely not gonna happen. If I'm paying 15 bucks, I might as well just go get the physical copy. However, this went on sale for $1.99 one day, and I remembered it from the recommendation, and I cannot for the life of me find the comment or remember who recommended this to me. So please, if you're watching this, hop in the comments down below and be like, it was me, because I want to say thank you because I did grab it. And I want you guys to know that when you give me recommendations, I file them away in my brain. I never forget. So I grabbed Elizabeth Moon's Remnant Population. Like I said, this is a sci-fi, and it says a woman living alone on a distant planet must confront the reality of her isolation when a reconnaissance ship returns and its crew is mysteriously slaughtered. It was a finalist for the Hugo Award, which is really cool. And it says, Ophelia, who is our main female character, tough, kind, wise, and unwise, fond of food, tired of foolish people, is one of the most probable heroines science fiction has ever known. I guess she's lived in isolation for 40 years on Colony 3245.12. That's so crazy. I'm intrigued. I don't know if I'm $15 intrigued, but I was definitely $2 intrigued. Another book that I actually saw and was introduced to when I saw it as a book of the month pick forever ago is Passion Project by London Speary. This went on sale for $1.99 one day and I scooped it up so fast. It says a grieving temp worker in New York City teams up with Henry for weekly adventures. Through these experiences, she finds her passion for life, leading to unexpected romance and growth. I think this cover is just gorgeous. So as someone who is admittedly not an experienced horror reader, I recently read Play Nice by Rachel Harrison and I really did like it. I would describe this as light horror. If you're an experienced, like super intense horror reader, you'll probably be bored and this won't be enough for you. But for me, this was great. And because I really liked her writing and I liked the way she wrote light horror, I grabbed So Thirsty by her when it went on sale one day. It says a woman's birthday weekend getaway with her best friend takes a horrifying turn, leading to eternal consequences and a journey towards satisfaction. I want to say this might be vampire horror, but I have no idea. And one thing about mystery thrillers, and now what I've found also in horror for me, is I don't like knowing too much about them because sometimes I think they kind of give away the plot. Let's do like a couple more and then I've got to run because my throat is starting to get really gross.
No, look.
He's so sleepy.
He's like, I want belly.
Oh, and we're back to being a menace. Great. We're back.
Bellies.
We're back and better than ever. My little menace boy. Why don't we go back to sleep? I like him when he's sleepy.
Yeah, me too.
Because he's so calm and cute. You're cute when you're sleeping. Oh, this book is something I'm really excited about because I haven't really heard many people talking about it and I love the cover and it sounds so good. I grabbed Voidwalker by S.A. McLean when it went on sale one day. How cool is this cover? I'm loving the colors. I'm liking the artwork. It says a cross-dimensional smuggler must help a dangerous immortal lord hunt down conspirators after a failed heist, leading to unexpected alliances and forbidden attraction. So I don't know if this is a little sci-fi. I don't know what my deal is with it, but my point is, if I don't end up liking this, I think I paid 99 cents for it. Another series who had a big sale on the whole series one day was the Naiads of Julie series, or Jewel series. I don't know how you pronounce that. But I grabbed book 1, A Sea of Song and Sirens, book 2, A Sea of Wrath and Scoria, and book 3, A Sea of Vows and Silence in the series. There is book 4 coming out as well, but it has not released yet. I think it releases in September. But each of these books are normally $4.99. They are Kindle Unlimited, but they went on sale for 99 cents one day, so I grabbed them. Book 1 says, after saving a drowned sailor named Kai and falling unwillingly under his spell, a young port dweller faces betrayal when he turns against her, leading to a dangerous game of power and survival. I thought it was YA, but it's not. It's actually adult. Another book I have been spotting recently because I'm super intrigued by it is Remain, because what is this author combination? This is Nicholas Sparks and M. Night Shyamalan. I'm like, what is this going to be? It's $14.99 regular and I grabbed it for $1.99. It says an architect battling depression encounters a mysterious woman at a Cape Cod bed and breakfast where their supernatural connection forces him to uncover dark secrets before time runs out. So it's like the romance of Nicholas Sparks with like the paranormal, maybe like sci-fi of M. Night Shyamalan. I don't know, but I'm intrigued. So I thought I had a few more in me, guys, but I don't think I do. I think my throat is starting to really start hurting. And the puppy is up now. The boys are both up now. So chaos is about to ensue in my house. So I think we're going to call it a day right here. I think we talked about plenty of books today. I did additionally buy like hundreds more Kindle books, but we weren't realistically going to talk about those anyway. So I think we are just going to end the video here. Let it lie. So if you have made it this entire way, comment the puppy dog emoji because we introduced Isaac in this video even though he did not cooperate at all, which is very on brand for Isaac if you knew him, because cooperation is not his thing. But comment the puppy dog for hi Isaac, how are you? And then do all the things that you are so good at doing, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one, which is going to be my January TBR, so sit tight. Bye guys.